changing on the fly. Hip checks, head tricks are gonna make them cheer. But the ball turned to chirping riding high. Now it's time for action. Tonight's gonna burn this bar right up. Slap shot will light the lamp so nice. Let's go for a breakaway on the Jays to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet them at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack, baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
All right, this is it. No more effing around. This is it. You know, my mood for the next, month and a half is going to be dictated on what tonight looks like. That's right. How I'm going to come into work in the morning. A major role is going to take place tonight in Sunrise, Florida. Panthers, Maple Leafs. Dave, no more dicking around. All right, need these 2 points. Let's go.
You really need the double down? Aren't you still basking in the glow of the US of A and all the rest of it? You need more?
Ahead. Yeah. Well, I think we've already established that the Panthers just winning, period, winning anything, is infinitely more important to me than winning the gold. Like, whatever, all right? I know you guys frown at that, but the Panthers' success is so much more important to me.
Yes, you know what it's like?
I don't know how to cover that up. I don't know how.
It's February, Mardi Gras month, and people go down to Mardi Gras, and they obsess about getting the beads, and then they get home with all their collection of beads, and like 4 or 8 days later, they look at it like, what the hell am I supposed to do with these beads? This is the equivalent of watching the Olympics and becoming obsessed by the need to see the gold. It's great. It's a great memory. You still would rather have the Stanley Cup. Stop jiving yourself.
That's right. If you put it in front of me, if you put it in front of me right now, the Team USA wins the gold medal, or I get that, or the Panthers definitely make the playoffs, which is a major long shot right now. The Panthers make the playoffs, and Barkov returns for the playoffs. You're not giving me any other guarantees other than that.
I'd rather the Penguins just make the playoffs. Absolutely right.
I want the playoffs and Barkov returns. I do.
I'd like them to make the playoffs and win a playoff round is more important to me than the US of A.
So you guys are two commies that hate America. Okay, what else is next?
It's not about hating America. It's what's more important. I care.
America, Jack.
I care more about my club team. I do. I just do. I'm sorry. And I got the great. And you're right. I don't know why anyone would say that.
You're saying you're sorry.
I'm not
you're
sorry.
Not.
You're not sorry. That's a good job by you. Okay.
But we know that you're a dual citizen.
I'm not sorry at all. So I said.
Amen. In this room, we're truth tellers. Yeah,
that's right.
No jive policy on this side of the glass today, and I'm glad to see it, Zaslow.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, no one's calling anyone a JT.
A JT.
If you were a movie guy, you'd know the reference, but you don't know a movie guy.
Jive turkey.
Oh, okay.
For him to explain it, that means you don't get the reference.
I got worried that there was some anti-Semitism in the air, and my mind
Jeremy Taché? What?
Look at that. We have the ultimate. We have the greatest American is back today. Mike Ryan.
Patriot.
Thank you.
There he is.
Thank you. The Earth is 10,000 years old.
Greg Cody, he liked that when you were in Club 11 the other night, he appreciated you on the microphone giving a Let's Go States.
Yeah, that was a great moment. See, you can be a lib and love America, too. We're taking it back, Jack.
So, speaking of which, all right, you were at 11, all right? We already went over that.
I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going?
You're putting me in a bad spot here.
I don't think I am. This is not about you. None of it's about you, but go ahead. What do you think I'm about to say?
Well, I think you're going to do a thing.
Can I hear it? I don't think you're right.
Are you going to talk about the Pat McAfee thing?
No.
But sure?
We can if you'd like.
Damn it. I really walked into that one.
I wasn't even thinking about it, but now we're here. Go on. Go.
Yeah, no. Look. All right.
Say it.
That was great of Pat to do.
What did he do?
That's not how you said it earlier. Hold on. Whoa.
let's set it up. So we're
Don't
at
you do that to
11.
me.
I'm just saying.
Don't you do that to me.
I love this. I
We
had
know
no
we're talking
intention of going in this
We're talking about
direction.
someone that can be sensitive sometimes, so let's be careful.
Guys, let's set it up. We're at 11, right? Everyone's there. The team's there. And then the video board, Pat McAfee shows up on the video board in a pre-tape message. He says, hey, guys.
He'll do a show anywhere.
Congratulations for bringing the gold. He does a lot of, like, Pat McAfee things.
What did
or
AJ
whatever.
Hawk say?
AJ was
Not pictured.
Yeah.
Not pictured in front of the wall of books
The
with
wall
no
of-
titles.
Now, did like the DJ stop the music and everyone quiet down?
Yes, absolutely. This was they ISO'd for him, and he kind of does the whole thing, and then he says, because of that, all the drinks are on me, and everybody goes crazy.
That's exciting.
And then he says, play the Hellebuck song, right? It was a pretty good song. I kind of
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, it was a cool song. But here's the thing. Like, anytime the Panthers go there, anytime anyone celebrates, 11 goes to the degree of paying for their tab.
Because that keeps them coming back.
Yes,
right?
because 11, look, Indiana celebrated their national
I
title
understand
there.
business.
Look what they could have picked anywhere in the nation. New York gets snowed out. They decide they're going to celebrate their title where the champions celebrate their titles. Down at 11, it's synonymous with championship celebration, so it's a great investment for them. So they were going to pay for the tab anyways, but credit to Pat McAfee for stepping up and being like, I'll pay for their tab anyways, and it doesn't have to be on 11. But I don't know if he knew that going into it. Also, the event was advertised as an open bar. It just was.
Like for the patrons as well?
Yeah, it was an open bar event. I didn't pay for a single drink, and it's not because Pat McAfee paid for the drink. It's because that was always the intention.
Mike,
But it's a really smart move on his
he
part.
pulled the ultimate. We've all been there. You walk into an open bar event. You've got your friends with you. Guys, what are you getting? It's on me.
Yeah. I paid for people's drinks too.
Okay.
See how easy?
Okay. Did McAfee know this, or does he say, I want to pay for their drinks, and the guy at 11 says, that's tremendous. We can do
We'll
that.
take your 150,000.
Yeah, right. Like, did Pat know?
I
That's an important part.
Shout out to 11 if that's the case.
I know very little about
that guy
it.
understands business, too.
I don't know if 100% that message was conveyed to Pat in all fairness.
It's an important detail, right?
It was, but like going through it, like I feel like somewhere along the way, it's like, they comp these tabs for these guys, right? Like you don't have to do this. But he put together an entire video message, and the crowd popped, and everyone thinks that the drinks were on Pat McAfee, and that's great for the brand.
they
and the
were,
brand,
right?
The brand is strong.
They were. If he paid for it, they were.
It was kind of like everyone there also. Like
The
it
big
wasn't-
tip.
Like, yeah. Like, to be fair, the message was also kind of hard to hear inside of 11 too, but I kind of left with the impression that, it was thanks to Pat McAfee, we can all have this rager here together, and that, like, it was advertised as an open bar event.
Guys, now I just thought about it, and we're doofuses.
We should have done it.
We should have done that shit. We should have done that shit.
Well, we could do
You
it for
had
the
the
next
mic,
one.
Mike. You could have gone on the mic. Guys,
Yeah, but we don't love America.
courtesy of DLS, all drinks are on us. Everyone would have loved
That
us.
would have been
They would've-
amazing.
Team USA would have declined if Dan Le Batard offered to buy the drinks.
Yes.
That's why I say DLS. A lot of people don't know what that is.
No, we don't have the juice. We don't have the juice, and we're not as pro-American as Pat McAfee, and Pat McAfee has earned that right.
No, we're more pro-America.
What is the do you estimate that bill would have come in at?
I saw that it came in at $150,000
that before tip?
$150,000?
for
what he
like
paid.
the Magnum bottles at 11. Yeah, like they
What a
drank a
racket.
lot.
Dave,
it was a full hockey.
They
team.
had sparklers and also signs too. That costs.
What a racket.
$150,000? By the way,
they actually got off cheap for that kind of celebration.
I would have thought it'd been more.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been way more.
Especially
Yeah.
since it's open bar for everybody, even though some people paid $800 to get in. $800 to
So
get
it
in.
was free in the morning to sign up and have entry, and then as the day went on, it went from free to a couple $100, and then
Why?
by the time that it
'Cause they
ended,
know business.
if you wanted to, for these nightclub things, you got to get in early because it went from like $0 to $800.
So
by
they
the
just
end of the
start
night.
at zero because they want to make sure they're going to get a crowd, and then when they know they're going to get a crowd, they start charging.
Yeah, because it's
Business.
a Monday night. You don't know what the kind of how much would the U.S. Olympic men's hockey team draw on a Monday night. Because
It's
this party's
cold
gonna-
also, a cold Monday night. I've learned this over my lifetime. The weather impacts attendance greatly. People don't want to go outside when the weather is bad. So you got if it's not a good weather night, you're like, man, let's drop it down to 0. I don't know if anyone's going to show up. And then when you see how many people are lining up outside, you're like, jack it up.
This Pat McAfee conversation begs the question:
Begs it.
when you donate to a charity, do you do it anonymously or do you put your name?
Yeah, right. Better put my name in bold and bright lights. Anonymously. What are
I
you
know.
talking about?
I
Let's
put
say my name twice.
I put my name every single time. It's not why I do it. I do it for the charity, but I want you to know I did it.
I think there's an interesting, before we move on to that, though, I'm curious, does the 11 ownership then have the uncomfortable conversation? They've already declared everything is on the house, right?
Yes.
And then Pat McAfee says, no, I want to pay for it. So do they say, I know we already said it's on us, but if you want to write a check, Pat, has 11 cashed a check at this point from Pat McAfee?
I don't know how it went about, but I think the intention was, hey, Team USA, you're not going to spend a single dollar because
I
you're
got
our
it.
boys.
Nice.
But what ended up happening was, hey, 11, you're not going to spend a single dollar on Team USA. Don't worry, I got it. That's how it actually played out. But Pat McAfee is like a master
Shout
of
out to Pat.
branding. And yes, like seriously, it's a very smart move. It helps his brand even further.
Pat, let me beat you to the punch right now. Yes, we're jealous that we didn't think of it first.
100%.
Absolutely. We should have thought of it
100%.
first. We're dumbasses.
Yeah, well, like it was kind of born out of like, hey, Mike, why are you taking the mic? Why are you making this about yourself? Just buy drinks like Pat McAfee. I'm like, wait a second.
Well, how did that happen?
DJ Genesis
Shout
was
out
in
to
the
Genesis,
yeah.
man.
He's you know him as a huge
He doesn't
Panther
know
guy.
him. He doesn't know him. He's
Yeah.
a fraud. He
In
doesn't know
arena
movies.
DJ for the
I
Florida
know. He
Panthers.
doesn't know DJ Genesis.
He was shouting out at all of us. He's like, "Hey, Mike, come in the booth. Speak some Spanish." And I was like, "All right,
That's
I,
my
I,
favorite
I got
thing.
one thing that'll kill."
I do wonder when McAfee's on the phone and he says, I want to pay for it. And they, however the transaction goes down where they tell him, yes, you could pay for it. Do you think it's like, all right, I'm ready for your credit card number? Is he like reading all the digits on the phone?
No, it's not a card. You get a cashier's check.
Expiration date? What's the CVV code? And just McAfee reading the numbers.
Yeah, I heard it like percolating during the day. I did not speak to anybody close to Pat, but I know that it was percolating. I'm like, hey, does Pat know that this is covered? I did like try to make sure that Pat didn't have to spend money that he didn't actually have to.
Okay, now let's get to the
It
juicy.
is a Larry David episode, though, right? Like, does 11 actually cash the check after they've already made the offer to do it themselves?
Now let's get to the juicy part of the conversation. Mike Ryan, do you believe that Pat McAfee knew in advance the tab was already covered? He's not stupid. He's been to 11. He knows about Club 11.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But like, if the intention were to make sure that Team USA wasn't going to pay for their drinks, I think that part was already covered. But it was really smart of Pat McAfee to do. All respect to Pat. I do not want the smoke. I'm just providing clarity because someone attacked me for making this about myself.
I want the smoke. Where's my camera? Pat, I know you knew, but guess what? I'm not even mad at you. I'm mad at myself because I should have thought of that, or one of us should have thought about it. So, again, you are a smart man.
Would you have been prepared to actually pay the $150,000?
Absolutely not. Or I would have just gone, Dan. I would have went, Dan, we need $150,000. That would be it.
We should clap it up for Pat one time. Good job.
Dude.
I do know, for the record, that Pat McAfee, he does these things that are publicly large, but I do know that he also, on the down low, does some really nice things for people that get no attention.
Is it on the down low? I feel like it's...
No, he does.
I do know it, and I know for fact that because it wasn't made public on that show, that it was just pure, a graceful deed that he did for a fellow Pittsburgher.
Clap it up, right? One more
I don't
time
want to say
for Pat
anything more
McAfee.
about it.
And I also know, like, all that money that he spends on College Game Day is legit his.
Well,
Everyone
what?
assumes that it's like coming from a production budget, but he does pay that.
One more time for Pat McAfee.
You know what? So with what Dave just said about that Pat McAfee, he knows he does stuff, on the down low. And even Chris bringing up when you donate, charity or GoFundMe accounts or whatever, do you do anonymous or you put your name? For me, I obviously put my name big bold letters. I want everybody to know. But
The Jewish tradition is that you don't do that.
yeah, sometimes you got to break out tradition.
Yeah, Jewish tradition is not to eat ham sandwiches
right.
either.
And then I learned
This guy
that
loves ham.
Ham tastes good. So
Ribs.
the point
Tony
being,
embarrassed himself
What are
yesterday.
we talking about?
Well, you said beef ribs are better than
Have you ever
swine.
had the monster
I
beef rib?
yes.
Okay.
I've had beef
So what-
ribs
okay,
in my
so what are you
lifetime.
talking about?
Yes,
So what
I've
are you
eaten
talking
beef.
about?
I like them. They're very good.
Okay,
They're not
that's
as
it.
good as baby
Done.
back ribs. Come on. Please continue.
So
I'm sorry for that ugly interruption.
The point being, I'll never understand the whole, did he do charity? Did he do the good deed on the down low, or did people know about it? Like, who gives a shit? That you still did the good thing, right?
Hold on.
You could tell everybody you did the good thing, or you cannot tell everybody you still did the really good thing.
Hold on. I'll tell you what's wrong with that in general, not towards Pat McAfee. Again, give it a one more time.
Yeah, I'm saying in general.
But the problem in general is you get these people like these Instagram accounts, these Instagram influencers where it's like, hey, man, you look down on your luck. Can I borrow $1? And they're like, well, and there's a homeless guy's like, well, this is my last dollar. But it's like, hey, because you gave me that $1, here's $10,000. And then they start crying. Like,
those videos are awesome.
I hate those videos. It's exploitation to the like at worst.
I'm with Amin on this
it's
one.
staged. At best, it's super exploitation, and I don't like it, man. It's this thing of like, yo, I will help you out, but you got to help me out in essence by being this down on your luck person that I come rescue like some white knight. It's terrible.
No, I think we know that you're talking about right there. We know that that's not cool. Okay, that's not even necessarily what I'm talking about. But I am talking about like what Dave is saying, where if you do the charity, but you tipped off the camera so they can catch you doing the charity, like. All right, but like you still did the really good charity.
I agree with that, and you can also rationalize it further by saying you're modeling behavior. If you're a public figure,
That's true.
You're showing people that this is a better way, a better society if everybody helps each other out a little bit.
And for a lot of these people, it brings more attention and more money donations to their private foundations, because a lot of these guys have foundations. They're not doing it all out of pocket. The exception, I think, is Shaq. Because I know Shaq will do
amazing.
a lot of
The
stuff out
best.
of pocket,
The
like
best.
crazy stuff.
He's just in line at like Best Buy.
Yes.
Mother needs to put the computer on
Walgreens.
layaway. He's like, I'm gonna buy you a computer.
Walgreens. I've seen him be at like Walgreens and in line for the pharmacy. Don't ask me why Shaq is going to a pharmacy and standing in line. He's done this. And it's like,
The greatest.
I've got everyone's medication paid for. Everyone in line.
I love that so much, not only because Shaq, there's never going to be another guy like him. He is just the greatest. But I kind of feel like, and we'll never know this because I'm never going to have money like that, but I kind of feel like...
Don't cut yourself out.
Thanks, man. I'm trying, I'm
win the
doing a lot
lottery.
of stuff right
Rising
now.
star.
I'm
He's a
trying.
rising star in media.
I'm trying. I'm grinding, But I like to believe if I had that kind of money that I would do stuff like that, Like, don't most people feel that way? That
Like
if,
Brewster's Millions is how you would live, in other words.
Like, I feel like if it didn't affect
know about
me,
Brewster's Millions.
I do know about Brewster's
No,
Millions.
You know
kinda
about that
glossed
Brewster's
over it.
Millions?
Yes,
You don't know
Richard
anything about
Pryor,
Brewster's
come
You know
on
he's got to
now.
spend $30 million, right?
I know.
He
yes,
can't have anything.
I understand, and it was really hard because he didn't have enough time. It was a lot of money. The point being, I feel like if you had that kind of money like Shaq and it doesn't affect you when you buy the souped-up van for the family with 8 kids because you're doing a good deed and it doesn't affect your pocket, I feel like we would all do stuff like that.
It's
no?
weird. In
I'd like to
fact,
believe.
I don't want to get up on
But why
my
don't we,
pious, Zaz, because it's easy to do it in the hypothetical, but I'm
love
100% with you. Everybody thinks, like, if I were a celebrity like Bill Murray, I would do what he does, go up and tap people on the shoulder. That's more vain. This is actually doing something for other people. I also shout out, though, a guy like Charlie Batch, the longtime backup quarterback of the Steelers and with the Lions and all of that.
2 days
That
in a row
guy-
you mentioned him.
That guy does not, he actually pushes away the cameras. People try to follow him around while he goes around and gives kids athletic equipment and everything else.
Is that a thing in Pittsburgh where it's like, holy shit, that's Charlie Batch?
How many
Yes,
cameras
and
is
he-
Charlie Batch pushing away?
I mean, when you're
These
doing that
days.
around town and people want to show the good deeds and he says, no, I don't want you to cover this because that's not what this is about, that is on a different level. But then like we talked about yesterday too, the most courageous thing you can do is go into children's hospitals and look
Oh,
those
my
kids
God.
on in the eyes and make them laugh.
Do you
and
think the
smile.
cameras ever come around Charlie Batch and are like, Heinz Ward? He's like, I'm not Heinz Ward. I'm just asking.
What
it
are
could
you
happen.
doing?
That's
He's in
offensive,
Pittsburgh.
I mean. I'm offended.
You were offended.
Not by your T-shirt, though, friend.
So,
Stay on target. Stay on
There you
target.
go. He gets it.
What's wrong?
He doesn't get it because he's
I
not a
can't
movie guy.
see your shirt,
Yeah.
man.
You don't
I
know
saw
what
it
that
this
is?
morning.
dude.
Why are you accusing me of not knowing anything about movies?
You're not a movie guy. I'm just saying.
I'm a great movie guy. I can't see your shirt.
Movie show on Fridays, Football America.
I'm looking forward to that.
it.
I'm looking forward to that.
Zaslow, Amin.
I'm looking forward to that.
I like how we're promoting it, even though it hasn't been taped yet.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we know it's gonna be.
Yeah,
good.
that's
I could
sometimes that
bail out
happens.
last minute.
Yeah, that's a gamble. What you just did there, Dave. That's a gamble.
You can't give away who the guests are until you got the guests on the book.
Before all the waving of the flag moves on for another 3 years and 11 months, or I guess we have the summer games upcoming in a couple of years. Either way, where does the American flag rank for you among all flags?
Number one.
Number one.
Number
Number
one.
one.
Wait, what the
Number
hell kind of
one.
question
Take
is that?
from
Are
you.
you
What is that
crazy?
supposed to mean?
Stars,
Commie
bars.
take.
I'm
Well, I didn't
offended.
even give an opinion. I asked you where it
I can
ranks,
tell where
but
it's coming
a
from.
commie take.
Yeah,
Very good.
100%. You're going to tell me like some other place is better. The Pittsburgh flag.
I
Give me a
rank
break.
it. I rank it 18th.
No, he's right about this because
you, Chris.
you would probably openly admit that the national anthem as a song, as a tune, is not as good as the Canadian anthem.
Canada and
Incredible
France's
anthem.
is better too.
But the U.S. flag, great flag, right at the top.
Is it your best? Is
I
it
think
number
so.
one?
Yeah, very good
You
flag.
think so?
Yeah, well, I can't think of every country flag in my head right now.
You don't
all
need
right?
to. You just
Okay.
need to know ours and say
Yeah,
number
I
one.
think it's the best.
Okay.
Canada
I
has
can
a
name
leaf.
any flag.
What does that mean? You
Put a
can
flag
name
up.
any
I know
flag?
exactly what flag it is.
do it.
Oh, we may have to do
That's
this.
a good test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we may have to do that.
I'm
Can't
really
just
good at
can't just
flags.
do it on.
You're gonna
you
get
know,
got
like-
by the British Empire.
That's the ones. The New Zealand, Australia.
They're very confusing.
That's the one that gets me every
But
single
you
time.
just said you knew all of them.
I know all of them except for those ones.
All right, we may have to do this. Now, before Mike Ryan thought that I was going in a direction that I wasn't going in, I was going to ask you, are we going to be upset if Matthew Tkachuk doesn't play tonight? That's the direction I was going in.
No. I mean, he was at the elbow room yesterday. Let him celebrate a little bit. Let him rest those legs. Give him a night off.
What the hell, man?
Give him a night off. Reinhardt and Marchand, those are the questions.
Well, he's had the last few nights off.
He did not have the last few nights off. He went to the State of the Union, and yesterday he was at elbow room. Give him a clean day off.
You're cool with him because he's hungover? Is that it's
Yeah.
okay with you, in other words, too hungover to play?
You deserve it.
Wow.
Thank you for what you did.
Now,
You
See?
deserve the day
Can't
off.
question your commitment to the US of A ever again.
No one should.
Damn right.
would you feel the same way if it wasn't two-time Stanley Cup champion Matthew Tkachuk we're talking
Fascinating question.
I think he's earned a lot here. I think he's earned a lot.
about? Well, that answers my question.
Over the last 3 years, this guy's given everything to this franchise. He brought the franchise their only Stanley Cup final victory with a broken sternum after returning courageously against the Vegas Golden Knights. He was the single most impactful acquisition in the history of South Florida sports, a market that actually acquired LeBron James, right? He turned the franchise around completely. It was the single biggest acquisition in South Florida sports history and Great American. Look how long we've been trying to win that. He's a part
What
of a
if-
golden American generation, and he is, for better or worse, the face of U.S. men's hockey.
Obviously, I know the answer to this, but really, look at the man in the mirror and answer him honestly, Mike Ryan. Matthew Tkachuk is Canadian. That's the only thing we're changing. Well, two things we're changing. He also scores the game-winning goal for Canada
It's a good question.
a few days ago. Are you now also cool with him taking a couple days off?
Shame on you.
What do you mean
For
shame
trying to
on
trap
me?
Another commie take from Dave.
Why is
dare
that a
you?
commie take? Is that a commie nothing?
Guys, I completely understand if Reinhardt doesn't play today, Brad Marchand doesn't play today. Sam Bennett, he can take the day off too. I know it's the Maple Leafs. I get it. They're probably not going to give you their best effort anyways.
The wildest would have been, obviously I root for a different team. I root for a team that wears black and gold. And had Sidney Crosby played in that gold medal game, win or lose, and then it's announced, yeah, he's out for the next 4 weeks. I mean, I'm not going to get on 87 for the same reasons times 10 versus your Matthew Tkachuk in his 2 years in Florida
3.
Panthers color. Whatever the hell. I mean, not comparable to what Sidney Crosby's done.
What? Not comparable. The guy's been playing the last game of the season for 3 consecutive years. Put some respect on it.
Listen,
Did Sidney Crosby
I don't
play
wanna
the
get-
last game of the season for 3 consecutive years?
I'm not looking
Did
to
he?
get bogged down with you.
Did
on a
Sidney
career
Crosby
achievement
play the last
side by side?
Well,
of
you were
Matthew
trying to
Tkachuk.
poo-poo the last 3 seasons of Matthew Tkachuk.
I'm not poo-pooing any of it. I said it's not comparable to one of the 3 best human beings to ever play the sport. Settle down with the Matthew Tkachuk, but you make the point. See, the grace that you show him is owed to the fact that he delivered for your favorite sports town. That makes it a little more tolerable, right?
I mean, we're going to give this a try. What country's flag are we showing on the video screen
That's a hard
right
one to
now?
start with.
Brunei.
Get the hell out of here.
Is that right?
It is right. Get the
Holy
hell out of
hell.
here.
Stay
Where
on
do,
target.
Brunei.
where do you want him to go?
Stay on
Give
target.
me more.
We will.
Give me more.
Okay, all right, I'm going to give you another one right now. What does this flag represent? Which country? Amin claims that he will get all
Wait
the
a
flags.
second. Wait a second.
Wait a second. What is he scrolling on his computer for?
I'm not scrolling on my computer.
Well, even if he does
What
scroll,
is he
like,
do? Yes, he is. Look at the smile.
I'm not
It tells
typing.
the
I'm
tale.
not typing anything. I'm not typing anything.
You're scrolling.
I'm not. I'm just.
just look at
I'm
the
rubbing
screen
my-
and
I'm
say
rubbing
what
my
it
I
fingers.
is.
mean, do you
Wait,
want me to
where's
be
the
a good
flag?
teammate, or do you want me to say what's on the
What,
screen?
is that Djibouti?
Yes, but now I'm suspicious.
Oh,
I'm drumming
now
my-
you're suspicious?
Okay. What else we got?
All right, here's another one.
that
Just
one-
stare at the
one's- come on.
screen.
That one's
Stop
easy.
looking at your
This one's
phone
easy.
or your computer.
My
Just stare at
phone's-
the screen.
My phone's right here. My phone's
Okay,
right here.
stare at the screen.
You don't know this one?
Costa Rica.
There you go.
All right, he's 3 for 3.
Do you know
a
the
good start.
state flags, the U.S. state flags as well?
We'll do
Nah.
more.
Man, there's some
State,
good
state,
ones.
state flags are harder.
Arizona's got a
Arizona's
banger.
got a great flag.
Yeah.
We've got a great
Arizona's
Yeah.
is very good. The controversial one that I like a lot is Maryland's.
flag. Maryland.
Maryland's
Yeah.
a good
Why
one.
is it
It's got the
controversial?
checkers on it, right?
So it's
got a
on
lot of
everything. Everything they do out of Maryland has the checker
Yeah.
flag.
Well,
on it.
you would-
Under Armour's got a million
Yeah,
checker flag
you would
things.
embrace it too. It's a great flag.
I liked a lot of people disliked my fellow drip drill pal Mike Ryan. How say you on the Maryland helmets that were half black and gold on the one side and the other half were red and white.
I love the swing.
I loved them too.
I
friend.
take the hack. I'm good with it. You got a great state flag, or Chicago. It's often confused for the Illinois state flag. Chicago's got its own flag, and that's a banger. I'd
Chicago's
rock up-
Chicago's flag.
That's
it's
a
pretty
You like those?
Great.
That Chicago flag is
white,
dope.
red, powder blue.
Look,
Amazing.
I think Chicago people think way too much of their city. I don't like Chicago as a city. I don't have fun there, whatever. But
Huh?
that flag is
It's
tough.
an amazing.
That's
flag.
a tough flag.
You don't love Chicago
I
socially?
don't like Chicago socially.
Summertime shy.
Been there. There's no such thing.
Summer. Yeah. What do you mean? There's no such thing.
Been
There's
there.
famously a thing. I went there 12 straight years.
Now
I
that
love Summertime
everything
Shy.
is couched, at least with Mike Ryan around, by whether or not it's patriotic and his pal Tony too, there's nothing more all-American than spending a June Saturday at 1 o'clock with your pals, sitting in the bleachers or otherwise in Wrigley Field.
Tommy's right
drinking.
about that one. He is.
I mean, that's where it's at. You can't. That
Making
is
a
one
beer
of those
snake. You ever
places.
made a beer snake in the bleachers?
I went there for the 4th of July for the NASCAR street race.
Nothing more American.
Telling you,
You ever done that?
My penis made an eagle sound.
I'll tell you. I'll do you one better. I
Better?
was
Wow.
once at Wrigley Field on July 4th, and you can still find video evidence of this being true. Dante Bichette was the right fielder for the Colorado Rockies that day, and my pals and I had many, and we had some of them plastic shades with us, and one of us, my friend Vandy, he threw the purple ones that he had down on the field to Dante Bichette. Here's some shades for you, Dante. And in the middle of the game, Dante Bichette picks up the glasses and he replaces his flip down ones for an outfielder with the purple ones, and he starts walking around the outfield like he's drunk or blind, and we're going crazy. We're like, you're getting paid millions of dollars, man. Come turn around, pay attention. You're going to get in trouble. But now all bets are off, because now it's okay for Matthew Tkachuk to miss games entirely because he's hungover from 3 days
That's a
ago.
great story, by the way. When did you become a commie?
He burned a flag right after that story.
Oh, and then, we were on Sports Center singing Yankee Doodle Dandy to Dante Bichette. You're a Yankee Doodle Dandy. Oh, it was one of countless memories. In the
I didn't know that
bleachers
was a
of Wrigley.
Soviet national anthem.
So the combine's going on right now in Indianapolis.
Combined.
Did you see this yesterday? Reuben Bain, he spoke with the media. Reuben Bain got a lot of attention yesterday, not just because he's awesome, but Reuben Bain got attention because people noticed, wow, your hair is looking a little bit unkempt. Like, You didn't do up your hair for all the media, the TV, all of that. And I got to tell you something. If I'm an NFL team, I am drafting Ruben Bain #1 overall, because this dude is talking about how he doesn't care about any of that stuff because all he cares about is football. You don't get done up for your big media front and center appearance because all you care about is football. I'm drafting him #1.
I will say that this is a great move, and I talked with one Mike McDonald before the Super Bowl about this very thing.
What did I say?
Yeah. Different one. The one with the Seahawks. He just declared them one of the great teams of all time, which they are not. But okay. I asked him because I think this is a great consideration for the quarterbacks and the head coaches and otherwise. Like, what message do you want to send to the world on Super Sunday, the biggest day of your professional life? Do you go clean shaven? Like, I want to look my best, my Sunday best. Or do you want to send the message, I got better shit to worry about than my appearance. I am all bald today.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I feel like Ruben Bain did yesterday.
Yep.
I think for the combine, though, because it is a job interview, it depends.
Right.
For Ruben Bain, absolutely. That's the kind of guy they're looking for.
Yep.
Remember, they say dress the part that you want to have, right? But if you're a quarterback, you got to go in there clean cut.
That's it. That's a good point.
Yeah, you got to present like I'm going to be the leader.
But Ruben Bain needs to present that he's just an animal.
I'm an
He's a
animal,
monster.
and all I want is to eat, sleep, and shit football. That's what that looks like right there.
Yep. I loved it.
Last part's painful, but he doesn't care.
I will take this guy #1.
I'm so sorry that they came up just short against the Indiana Hoosiers. No reason to hang your head, though. You guys had a great season at the U. Are you rooting for Carson Beck? What is his do you have any sort of rooting interest at this point, or has he served his purpose in your life? And how about Ruben Bain, and how about anybody else associated with the U this year?
So I'm actually rooting for Ruben to land with the Titans because that would be awesome. Then I'm just like full bore Titans guy.
What picks do they have?
They're top 5, I think.
You've made an intellectual decision here. There's some overlap between emotion, the rooting interest, and an intellectual choice. You're trying to convince the rest of yourself to believe, right?
Titans are number 4 overall. Everyone can remember the great pickle of 2025 where the Browns were potentially in position to draft Cam Ward.
Would you have been back on board?
I said yes. Yeah. I would have been. But that didn't happen.
You know Mike Ryan is
the great pickle.
Browns
Everyone knows a great pickle of
fan,
2025.
He's a regular on Football America, friend.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to
Everyone knows a great pickle of 2025. Yeah. But, it came and went. I don't have to be a Browns fan.
My movie theater sells pickles.
I kind of enjoy
How much they charge?
that I don't have to.
It's $2.99, dog.
But it's also
It's a good deal.
It's a little phony that you're trying to embrace a Tennessee-based pro football team.
Me?
It's
Phony?
all about
Shut up.
You're all about that.
You're embracing Canada. You calling him because he's embracing Tennessee?
You know what, Mike Ryan? That's right. Bitten by my own snake. I rooted for Canada because of Sidney Crosby. You're rooting for Tennessee because Cam Ward went to the U.
Much like Matthew Tkachuk, Cam Ward turned this program around.
Dave, it's very much a Miami Hurricane fan thing where they will root for the team in the NFL that the player that they love is on.
Honestly, I'm like not as jazzed up for the NFL as I used to be. I think that's because the Canes are a little bit better. But now we're starting to see these guys get drafted high in the first round. I'm like, wow, this takes me back to the turn of the century where everybody making an impactful play on the week of on the game of the week was a Miami Hurricane. So we're getting back to it. But Carson Beck does not have the same juice. Now I think that Carson Beck will actually land with the Cleveland Browns because Todd Monken, their head coach, was actually hugely impactful in getting Carson Beck to Miami and getting Miami's staff to buy in on the idea of having Carson Beck as their quarterback. I think Carson Beck actually ends up in Cleveland.
As what? The emergency? I mean, as the taxi?
Well, I mean,
QB?
they obviously have a Pro Bowl quarterback already as QB1 in Shedeur Sanders. So, but to keep them honest, to improve that room, to have a guy that is knowledgeable of Todd Monken's offense, I think would be beneficial. But no, I wouldn't become a Cleveland Browns fan if merely Carson Beck went to the Cleveland Browns. I'd be rooting for Carson Beck. Now, if they got Carson Beck and Ruben Bain, That's a horse of a different color. And we may
And
be
just
talking
to
about
make
the Great
sure
Pickle
we have our
2026.
ducks in a row, your allegiance to the Browns is owed to Bernie Kosar?
No, my grandma, my abuelita.
Dollar store.
Yeah,
bottom
dollar
grocery
store.
Got 'em plates.
Yeah, dollar store in Hialeah. A bunch of random stuff went over there, and every time she would make me biseo empanizado, all the paper plates were Cleveland Browns stuff. And one day they were playing the Dolphins, and I believe Dan Marino's knee got bent back 90 degrees the other way during that game. But I was still like, oh man, orange helmet.
That's how it goes.
Guys, what are we talking about here? Carson Beck is going to be doing ESPN college football analysis in like 2 years, right? He's
Brock Osweiler role.
Come on, man.
I mean, I think he's going to have a long career in the NFL, maybe not as a starter, but he is a really smart quarterback, and I think people just hate his face and don't want to give him that. Yeah. I think Miami actually turned the corner when he decided, hey, let me make the audibles on the field. Let me get the ball out of my hands. Let me give it to Fletch. People don't understand how smart of a quarterback Carson Beck is.
See,
because of the interceptions, too.
I'm kind of the opposite there, though, with Ward and Beck. Like, obviously, Cam Ward is a much better quarterback than Carson Beck. But I think my memories are going to be so much more fond of Carson Beck because of the moments that we had leading up to the national
Cam had some
championship.
incredible moments, though.
Yeah,
I know,
I mean,
but-
look, maybe we'd have a conversation if Carson Beck's last act wasn't an interception to Indiana. Thank you very much, Roy Bellamy. If Carson Beck actually wins that, then you look back on his run in the playoffs. Not only do you have
Still running.
Carson Beck with his legs, but you have like a drive for your life
What
with
a
Carson
moment.
Beck at the
But the
at
idea-
the center of it.
The reason you can announce right now that I'm more a Cam Ward guy than I am a Carson Beck guy is that you have two eyes and you know that Cam Ward's future is brighter than Carson's
Yeah,
Beck,
and
right?
Cam-
It's not
yeah.
about anything they did at the U.
And Carson, well, I
You're
mean,
front
Cam-
running in advance of
Cam
either
was
one of them
unbelievable.
taking a lead.
Cam was unbelievable. I was at the Berkeley game. Like Cam Ward is just like a ridiculous player. He's a great player to have as a Miami Hurricane.
Amin, how about this flag? Got one more for you. You believe you can get all the flags right. What is that one? Which country does that represent? Look at the screen. Do not look at your phone.
Okay, I'm looking at the screen.
That is Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. It is the country that he made up.
That's why I didn't know it.
My client is a genius, but the people at the network were afraid he'd be too good. I get that all the time. Or I get comedians who audition for the Tonight Show, and they didn't quite have them. They were close, and their agent would say, "You're scared because if my client kills, he could take your job." No, I want your client to do well. It's just that, talking about Reagan's trip to Pittsburgh 30 years later, it's not really timely anymore. Okay, can you try to update the material? Oh, and then people get furious. So there's all sorts of reasons why. But I think the key is I was always happy at whatever level I was at. I mean, I used to have a day job and then be a comedian at night, and I would bank one and spend the other. And then when the comedian money got to be pretty good, I quit the other job. And I thought, I'm making a living as a comedian, because it's probably a sad reflection on our society, but the worst comedian in the world still makes more than the best teacher, which seems hardly fair, but that's just the way it is. And so I always was able to make a living, and it was okay. Each year got a little better than the year before, and that was okay. It's so funny. Whenever I watch these shows about, there's a couple of them on Netflix and HBO about comedians, it's a backbiting, horrible business, and everybody hates one another. And that wasn't the case at all. I mean, I got where I was thanks to Steve Martin and Johnny Carson and Harvey Korman. And consequently, when I got a little success, I brought Johnny Carson in to see Ellen DeGeneres and some other comedians as well. And you can't do every job every day. So I've always found comedians to be extremely supportive. Whenever one of us, by one of us, I mean Letterman or me or Seinfeld or even Robin Williams, if you watch my first Tonight Show from 1977, you hear this in the back laughing in the audience. It's Robin. Robin was sitting in the audience, kind of helping me out and giving me a little encouragement, And consequently, when those guys did the Tonight Shows, we all went and would laugh it up for them, whether it's Merv Griffin or Mike Douglas or any of those shows. So it's actually quite a nice way to make a living. I mean, yes, there are horrible people in it, I suppose, but I didn't run into too many of them. I met far more nice people than bad people.
What do you regard as the happiest time in your professional life? Because I remember, I don't know how many times you appeared on Letterman. I remember a stand-up act specifically that for some reason, I don't know whether it was discovering you, I guess, but you were on stage and you did something about Mr. Universe and you held your fingers under your chin and you made, some other interplanetary weightlifter was furious because, we had decided that
I should have won. Something about how did Venus win? I should have won. It was how they have Mr. Universe. If there's the happiest time yesterday was pretty good.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings.
So
DraftKings! The crown is yours.
Sucker. You a sucker, Zaz.
Sucker move.
That's not it.
Yeah, of course
It's a
it's not
sucker
you. You
move.
know
It's
that he
his
says
thing.
But I have a different mindset when I'm sitting in this chair.
But why don't you look at him?
2 left feet.
Take that hat off. Maybe that'll help.
By the way, yeah, that's right. Colin
ahead.
Cowherd would admonish you for wearing your hat backwards, Zaslow. Where are you going in this world with that look?
I don't know. I feel like I'm moving up. I think I'm doing all right with the backwards
It
hat.
has been working out for him.
Yeah, I think it's going okay. I did.
Samson.
So speaking of left feet, I saw Mike Ryan complaining about shoes that he bought that have made you feel old.
Super.
And this is interesting to me because I want you to tell me about it, but I think I'm going to be able to relate.
Are they Hokas?
No. Not actual orthos.
Never.
So occasionally I'll go on an app where you can get some shoes. I don't do like the sneakers app draws anymore because you never get anywhere. It's basically everything's secondary market. It's a lot like getting concert tickets. You're not getting these things once they go on sale. You got to do secondary market. So there was this pair of LeBrons that I saw on the app that I'm like, wow, they're doing the Forever King. It's like a career retrospective series. And there was this shoe of of LeBron's, and I'm like, wow, it's gold. It kind of looks like the J's that you can wear to formal events. So I just see the one shoe. I'm like, let me get this. And then there's this huge box that gets delivered to my house, massive. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it was from the App Store. It's GOAT, whatever. So I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Like I do, like anybody that wants to be a shoe,
we got shoe sponsors
secondary,
here? Let me know.
come on over. I'll shop on your place. So I opened this box from GOAT, and it's massive. I'm like, okay, these are the LeBron shoes. It's like a casket-sized box. I'm opening it up. I'm like, I didn't know that. I would not have bought this particular
It's a
shoe.
casket-sized box?
It's huge. I would not have done this. It took me forever to open. I would not have done this had I known that this was like the presentation of this box. But whatever. It takes me like 10 minutes to finally get to the part where I see the shoes. And I open the shoes up. I'm like, did they screw this up? Because one shoe is gold and black and white and perfect, and the shoe that I looked at on the app and decided to buy, and the other shoe is purple and black. They're 2 different color shoes.
So you have Laker shoes.
I'm 40 years old. I cannot pull off this look. Yeah. At least I don't think. One of the shoes is a LeBron shoe that says Chosen One. The other shoe is a Bronny James shoe. No. The one who chose. I didn't like whatever they. I'm like, I can't read this. But yeah, it's a Bronny James shoe that's entirely the different color. No. And I have one standalone shoe, and I'm hoping that they kind of switch it up. Maybe there's a set out there where the left shoe is just the black and gold one that I wanted. But the entire thing, from the box to the two different color shoes, to me being confused about it, it made me feel really old and someone that could not pull off wearing two different color shoes.
Wow.
Man, let me tell you something. That is the old, like, people in Congress know about this. You want to get something, you hide a writer on that shit and say, so you're against children being saved? And
Yeah.
Like, and meanwhile, you got your writer in there that's just, hey, let me get $100 million for this or whatever. That's what just happened to you. They slipped the Bronny James shoe in there because, like, hey, look, Bronny sold 1 million pair, right? Because everyone bought the LeBron shoe. Man, I'm sorry for you because you got got.
I got big time.
But what are you going to do?
I have to eat it.
Are you going to wear it?
Hell no.
How can I wear it? Dude, I don't need that in my life.
You can't return on goat either, so that's the other issue. He's got to eat
No, I'm not going to be that guy either. I just got to eat it or hope that there's someone out there.
Or
does anyone want these?
That has a left.
Not even does anyone want these? Or you do unto them what was done unto you. Because you can throw them back on GOAT as a seller, mint condition, never been worn, and just keep pictures of the LeBron shoe and not the Bronny shoe.
I didn't even know Bronny had shoes.
Exactly.
Well, he doesn't even have shoes. He has shoe.
He has shoe.
Can you order which one you want to be the left and which one you want to be the right?
I'm hoping, but I'm ancient now, so I don't even know how to figure this out. But if anybody has the left LeBron shoe,
Come at me.
That's the one right there. You have it on your
So
computer.
so I'm watching it on StockX, and they actually have the purple one in front of the gold one, so you can't even see the gold one. So if you're in the market for a purple shoe, you're like, oh, I love this one, but then you look at the gold shoe, and you're like, oh, wait a second.
I only
They
saw
have,
the
like,
gold
this
shoe.
much.
The gold shoe looks great.
Mike sounds so old. He's like, excuse me, does anyone have the missing pair to what I'm searching for?
I'm conceding that. I know I sound washed. It washed over me right then and there. Like, you're too old for the kick game.
Let me get my reading
But if we
glasses.
can make lemonade out of the lemon here, what you would like to do is find a trading partner, right? You would like for somebody to you'll send off the purple one in exchange for the gold one that you lack.
But
right?
I mean, I doubt.
But then he
that
has
they
two
did that.
right shoes.
Yeah, I doubt.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Can you pick left or right?
Hold on. Let's
they're
just
all-
assume you
right,
could.
that makes sense.
Let's just
Yeah.
assume you
Sorry.
could. Who's the guy that says, hell yeah, send me the Bronny shoe. I want 2 Bronny shoes. You can have them old LeBrons. Who's that guy?
I saw the Bronny shoe. I'm like, this is basically Big Baller Brand. What is this? It just tanked the value of this. Like, not only would I have not at all been interested, I would have made fun of it on the internet. I had no idea he had a shoe.
So that's what it means when they say that Bronny has sold X amount of units, right?
yes.
Yes, it's coupled with a LeBron shoe, but a singular LeBron shoe of a different color.
How many
Yeah.
others are there like you?
I got to imagine there's a lot of dads out there that are like, all right, let me fire this up. LeBron's been playing basically my entire adult life. I like this Forever King thing. He has good shoes occasionally. I'm in on this.
You know who would never do something like this? Michael Jordan. Yeah, that's true. That's my GOAT.
Every time we go somewhere on vacation, like recently, my wife and I, we went to Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and we get to where we're going, and one of the days we did a day trip to the Grand Canyon. You know, it was cool, Grand Canyon, all right, whatever. But there's a lot of walking going on, and when we get there, when we get to Vegas, my wife always says, "Did you pack your orthos?"
What'd you say?
Because I have orthos, and I say no because they always make me feel really old. I have orthos for when we're doing long walks or on vacation, stuff like that, because I'm flat.
You have a condition?
I'm flat-footed.
okay. All right.
I'm flat-footed, and
Not going to get drafted.
and
There's
that's a
silver lining.
positive. That was a positive.
Yeah, it's
not
coming
going to
back.
get drafted, but when we do long walks, and it doesn't even have to be a long walk when we're on vacation, it becomes very painful for me, and I develop plantar fasciitis, and I don't like wearing my orthos because A, they look like orthos, and B, I feel like an old man, and there's nothing I could do.
Do you have
about
cool orthos at
it.
least?
No,
or you have
there's
like
no cool
lame
orthos, man. There's no cool
Hookahs?
orthos. No, they're not cool looking at all, and I feel like an old man.
Well, I think you've just landed on something that we should put our heads together and figure out. Cool looking orthos.
Insoles, right? Like insoles help.
I haven't. I mean,
You can't do insoles.
I try. Like, does it help? Maybe. Like, what would it feel like if I didn't have the insoles? But it still hurts.
What are they? Are they like off beige kind of your orthos? Like
They're like gray. They're like a light gray.
Velcro straps.
No.
Just asking.
Slip-ons.
No.
Do you have maximum stick on the bottom so you can like really grip? My grandma has those.
I'm not in jeopardy of falling down. Right.
Just the same. Because usually they're 2 for 1, right? Like you get the Velcro but max stick on the bottom with the orthopedic. That's the 3 for 1.
That's the shoe.
Makes me feel old, man.
You got those UFOs?
Oh, I got those UFOs.
They came out with like a shoe.
I know. I gave one to my dad.
The shoe. The
Used to be a
shoes are very
sponsor.
comfy. All right, I've only worn them once. I wore them to like a rock music festival, which was a much older crowd, so no one can make fun of them. But they, it's not aesthetic.
What are you
like,
laughing
They're
at,
also
Ortho?
military green.
I got the shoes. They used to be a sponsor, so I got the shoes and the slides. I kept the slides for myself.
The slides are amazing.
Slides are amazing. They're very comfortable. But I gave the shoes to my dad because I know he doesn't care.
Dave, I hear we have a brand new game that we are going to play here, and it is called Hockey Player or Prescription.
Yeah. Old news that NHL players of this millennium owed to the fact that it is, in fact, a global sport now. You have those Scandinavian names added to the great names of Canadians. You have the Russians and so on. Also, everybody's aware of the prescription drug ads that are ubiquitous in our lives thanks to watching sports.
A lot of blood in your stool.
Yeah, all that kind of talk. So let's see how good we are collectively here. I'll go one by one here, and I'll start with you, Amin. You'll see it's hard to distinguish when I put them into context here, whether I'm talking about an NHL player or a prescription drug. Here we go, Amin.
I'm really good at these games.
Okay. Brukinza. Let me put that into a sentence for
Can
you.
you spell it?
Senators oft penalized grinder Darius Brukinza or lymphoma treatment Brukinza.
Can you spell it or no?
I'm not spelling anything for you. Come on.
Country of origin?
Let's,
All right,
let's
I'm gonna
not
go.
jive.
I'm gonna go. Brukinza. Brukinza is a hockey player.
He said Darius.
Darius is what threw me off
Oh, he
there.
said Darius?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not listening.
I wasn't
The
listening.
Darius threw you off.
There's white Dariuses, especially in hockey.
Especially from Eastern Europe. Remember Darius Sangailo?
And Kasperitis.
Darius Kasperitis was the inspiration here. Let's try another one real quick. Mike Ryan and Zubko. Maple Leafs small but speedy defenseman Yossi and Zubko. Or chronic hand eczema treatment and Zubko.
You know about that eczema?
I know you do, Zaz. I'm gonna go with.
Whoa!
I'm gonna go with.
Do I
the
look
eczema.
like I have
Old
eczema?
and eczema?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
And
Actually,
big-ass
not
head.
today, but when I don't saw see you earlier this week,
I didn't know eczema carries a look.
it does. Famously,
Soda drinking too.
it's either that or rosacea.
That's what I've learned from the last decade's worth of commercials is that eczema is society's greatest plague. It's the greatest issue out there. I didn't know that everybody or so many people were struggling with it that were required to have 78 different medications available for sufferers of the
I
eczema.
get it on the eyebrows occasionally.
I get it right here too.
Look at us. We park our car in the same garage.
I don't like that garage though. Keep me out of that garage.
I-
So what did you give an answer? Or no.
we got into it with the Zaz's rosacea / eczema. I think it's a medication.
Let's see if you're right there. And Zubko. And Zubko is in fact a medication. Rub it on your eyebrow there, Mike Ryan, or your terrible sneakers.
Can we do one more here?
You want to do another one? Would you like to play yourself, Zaz? Here we go. Van Robies.
He gets the easy one.
I mean, so far, Dave has stumped everybody. Well, you.
I'm going with it. I'm being told by the fellows behind the glass. Louis is saying we don't have that. I'm going with it anyway.
Yeah, whatever. Come on.
Van Rabies. Shark centerman Lucas Van Rabies, or esophagitis treatment Van Robies. Van Rabies.
You're pronouncing it two
Van
different
Rabies.
ways.
Van Rabies.
All right, the fact that you're having trouble pronouncing it makes me believe that it's a medication. So I'm going to go medication.
You are wrong.
You
He is
idiot.
a hockey player. He is an actual center iceman for the San Jose Sharks.
Like
It was
right
so
now?
obvious.
I'm saving some. I'm saving some for later.
This
on.
is
I thought you
Great
watch
game.
hockey.
It's
game.
full of folks.
Good game.
Fourth liner?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's played a great deal. That's part of the secret. I mean,
honestly,
I really couldn't go Kachuk, could I? I mean, I think that would be a tell.
Celebrini.
That's a medication.
Celebrini sounds like a antidepressant.
If you didn't just watch the Olympics, Celebrini would be the most hockey player actual name that sounds like a medication ever.
Celebrini is the medication you take, and then in the commercial, they've got Celebration is the song. But it's not actual.
Celebrini.
Come on! Exactly.
Well, I want to do, when we have more time, we should do a proper Oscars award style award of the greatest prescription drug song out there, because there are a lot of them. It used to be the 80s when Zaz and I were growing up. Everybody, Family Ties and Cheers, you knew the jingle for the sitcom, but those have gone the way of the dodo bird. Thank goodness they've been replaced by
What?
prescription
Thank goodness.
drug songs.
I miss those days.
No, I'm saying thank goodness that somebody stepped up, and it was the prescription drug industry.
If I give you guys Sky Rizzy, I don't think anyone beats me.
Is that the GOAT?
Sky Rizzy's number one.
I don't want, listen, I want to have
Nothing
a proper.
is everything. Like that one. That's how it
Nothing
goes.
is everything.
Yeah, Sky Rizzy, baby.
They're
Was
having
that
so
kind of
much
banger?
fun. My dream in life is to be as happy as the people plagued by whatever ailment has landed them in a prescription drug ad. Those people have the best lives going.
Ozempic.
Yeah.
You know. That's a good one. That is a good one.
The GOAT of commercial jingles.
For medications, though.
Take once daily audience at each day's start.
Terrible.
As time goes by, it was easy to see. It's lowering my A1C.
Pretty good.
That might be a SUI nominee, Dave.
Oh, well, thank you.
So the
I didn't write that. That wasn't an original.
The NHL got back to action last night. Panthers are playing tonight. That's most important. But the NHL got back to action last night. And so that means that the best player in the world, right, Connor McDavid, he met with the media yesterday.
Oof.
And how about now, certainly this is not the only probably wasn't even the first question, right? It's a whole media session. There's a scrum. He's meeting with the media members. But get a load of this very forward question from one of the Edmonton beat guys for Connor McDavid.
This is a hard question, but Stanley Cup's found Gretzky and Crosby and those guys and gold medals, and you've been and put yourself in position, and it's not finding you. Did you think it would be this hard?
That's a nice question. Thank you.
No. He said, nice question. Thanks for that. Woof. It was nice question, he said.
Wow.
Some people are defending it like, well, he gave a fuller answer to that. I'm confused by why that's an inappropriate thing to ask him. The whole point is to win when you're playing a professional sport, right? Why is it out of line to ask him what's going on there?
And it was the nicest possible way to ask that question. Like he said, why hasn't it found you? As if it's just something that happens
Did you
to you.
think it would be this hard?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you expect him to say, I thought it was going to be easy to win Stanley Cups and a gold medal?
I'm disappointed in myself. I would have thought I would have been successful in one of these tries. But the good news is I'm young. I think I'm going to have a lot more opportunities to do it.
Not that young. And it may be uncomfortable, but that is the whole point, and it is the subject when you're talking about Connor McDavid, who otherwise is in the conversation for greatest player of all time. He hasn't won, so that is why he is out of that conversation at this point.
Looks a bit gaunt there, right? In that
Yes,
video?
he does.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought
was
the
like,
same
that's
thing,
Connor
Tony.
McDavid? Huh.
Yeah, he doesn't look well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
And did you see in the Toronto Star yesterday, as the Maple Leafs are back in
What'd they
action,
say?
they're playing. That's my gimmick. The Maple Leafs are at the Panthers tonight, and the Toronto Star headline yesterday, Austin Matthews made his choice, seemingly putting the party and the president ahead of the playoffs. I know the Canadian media is, especially Toronto, is really tough when it comes to hockey. Like, really, really, really tough. They're going to push these guys away from these teams when it comes to free agency. Like, you want to talk about Florida has become an attractive franchise, the winning for sure, but there's a lot that goes around with it. These guys are anonymous, all right, when they're walking around here. And like this kind of shit with Austin Matthews, and even, if you think that question was fair, fine, but there's a lot of pressure with Connor McDavid, they're going to push these guys away from those 6 Canadian teams.
That's what Sid Shishero was telling us on Tuesday, that a lot of players are fleeing the Canadian markets, not because of like all the others, like the weather or whatever, but because the pressure is immense. The media coverage there is very intense. It's like New York City media
I
coverage
think it's
sports.
a lot worse.
You think it's worse than New York?
It's
Yeah,
worse.
I think it's a lot
We're going to be
worse.
joined by Sarah
It's
Sivian.
the national sport.
We're going to be joined by Sarah Sivian at 11:15. I'm curious. Like, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that a guy like Connor Hellebuck gets some booze at home, because like,
Come on.
No.
I'm telling you, like the way it geopolitically speaking, it is as tense as it's ever been in our lifetimes right now between the U.S. and Canada. You have this layer of them losing to the Americans in their sport, which is embarrassing enough, but then how the Americans have carried themselves, gallivanting with an administration that has started this whole geopolitical mess between the two countries. They are not pleased. I've seen plenty of Winnipeg Jets fans going at Connor Hellebuck. I've seen plenty of these Canadian-based teams with Americans on them going at these players. And I'm saying it would not surprise me. It would be a bad look, but it would not surprise me if these players, in some cases, get booed in their own buildings.
Winning or losing in that gold medal game may end up being everything. Yes, it would be okay with Canada if Austin Matthews hadn't won, but taking this off now in celebration of old glory and now going back to the team that is starved for a Stanley Cup run. Yeah, man, I'm with you. I think he's going to get booed, Austin Matthews.
Wow. Okay, so
In Toronto, I mean, not obviously by the Florida.
and
fans.
Hellebuck too.
I could see that.
In Winnipeg, yeah, like I've seen that's a guy that's getting like a lot of it right now on social media.
Are you guys saying booed as in like, and starting at goal, Connor Hellebuck, boo?
Yeah,
like
I don't
that?
know.
Or are you saying
No,
like
smattering.
when they lose, or if he lets a goal in,
Oh, dude.
then they'll get on him like,
Yeah.
oh, so now Captain America can't stop
So
a
the
puck?
scenario that you're painting right now, I think maybe a smattering before the game, but if he lets one in, like, yeah, then tensions start to boil over.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, you would need, practically speaking, someone to say, and in goal, Connor Hellebuck, and then see what the response is. If you don't give him the moment, which, in fact, I guess you do that standardly before the game. So, yeah, it'll be interesting his first time up there. Very quickly, can I ask you guys this? Because I mentioned it a day or 3 ago. In honor of the Houston and Edmonton Oilers, they're no longer the Houston Oilers, if you haven't heard about that.
The Tennessee Oilers.
There are, in fact, 6 North American sports teams among the 4 major leagues that share the same nickname. Tony v. Chris Cody. Let's go. You're up first, Tony. Name a team.
I love how you're pitting people against one another. This is good stuff.
Tony, you go first. You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Oilers belong to 2 franchises,
yes.
or used to.
I'll start with the hometown Florida Panthers and Carolina Panthers.
Well done. Well done. Next up.
Lions.
Do you understand what we're doing?
No.
Can I take his answer?
Go ahead, Tony.
The
This
Jets.
is your show. The Jets is correct, and you name them all. You have 4 to go.
I'm ready.
Go ahead, Zaz.
Cardinals.
The Cardinals is
Can I get a
correct.
Giants?
You got the Giants.
Can I get a Kings?
You got the Kings, and there's 1 left.
Wait, I want
everybody.
Chris to
Wait,
keep
2
going.
left. 2 left. 2 left.
Chris keeps going.
Yeah, Chris. Get 1 right.
I don't want to play.
There's 1 more?
There's 2.
Ooh, this is good. I like this game.
We've got Panthers, right? Got the Kings. We got the Giants.
Oh, you said Giants.
We got the
And
Lions.
we got the Cardinals. Yeah, we've got the King of the Jungle.
I still don't know what game we're playing.
Okay, so there's
I mean, this isn't difficult. They're the Arizona Cardinals, And then they're the St. Louis Cardinals, right? You understand?
It's the same name, but two different sports, Chris. You got me? So the Lions.
Felt like Lions was a safe guess.
They're only in one sport.
I think it's cool that the St. Louis Cardinals of baseball and the St. Louis Cardinals of football and the St. Louis Cardinals of football didn't start out there, but they just so happened to both land in the same American metropolis. But anyway, that's not the game we're playing here. Sheesh.
How come we can't think
There
of
aren't
the
two
one more?
Timberwolves. There are not. Yes, there aren't two Steelers. Not two Browns.
How come we can't think of the one more? There's only-
There
keep
are
thinking
two
of-
more.
I think you keep thinking about Celtics and Celtics, right? And
I mean, certainly Hawks and Seahawks we're not counting, right?
He's saying
We're not
North
counting
American
that.
sports, just North American sports.
4 major sports. There may be one in Mike Ryan's beloved. He loves the greatest single position group in Miami sports history is soccer attacker. If that were true, it would be sad, but it's not true. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
And
Rangers.
we're not going with like you mentioned.
Roy's got one.
Roy.
The Rangers, New York and Texas.
The
Good job.
Rangers is correct. Well done there.
And we're not counting the Oilers anymore because they don't exist in football.
There's one left unless I missed somebody saying it, but you're already real close there, Roy, regionally speaking.
Between New York and Texas.
The Nuggets.
Regionally speaking,
Yeah.
Northeast.
Stars.
No.
Hurricanes?
No. Oh, no.
Pro sports, man. Pro sports.
Try Lions.
All right, just give it to us.
It's the Jets.
We
said
said
the
the
Jets.
Jets.
You said Jets.
I said the Jets, you commie.
I just said maybe I missed
I
somebody
said
saying
the
it.
Jets,
Steve
you commie.
Martin.
All right, so speaking of team names, Amin has been ranting and raving before the show the last couple of days, trying to get someone to engage with him. Amin, go ahead and let everybody know what you've been all over.
There are no more cool names that teams can have because all the cool names have been taken and copyrighted by another team somewhere else. Any cool name you think, there's only one. I've got it. I won't say it out loud, or maybe I will. Maybe I'll copyright it to myself right now. Copyright. Shout out to Billy Gill. There's one left. Who's that? I'm not going to say it first, but I want to point out.
Okay, but when you say cool name, like, so what does that mean?
There's only one.
So, like, some of the names we just said, Lions, Tigers, Bears, Rockets, right? Like Steelers.
Like no one's called the tables for a reason.
Exactly. Like
It's a
all this
shame.
stuff are goofy names or singular names and stuff like that. Nobody likes that. Those
Minor
aren't
League
cool
Baseball.
names. Minor League Baseball, but then they get to go crazy over there. I'm talking about something that you could actually market on a wide range.
Yeah,
Right.
little
That needs to be taken
self-aware.
serious.
I'm a curmudgeon about the minor league baseball teams' caps and everything. They're just trying to get people to pay attention to them, and so
Attention
they do
seekers.
silliness. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the whole point.
I get it, but
That's the
but
whole point.
It's
Wait, against
obvious.
capitalism?
I'm not against
It
it.
seems
I'm
like
just
you're
saying
against capitalism,
it
like
is
a
little
commie.
bit
We
too-
got a picture of you as a commie here. Where was it taken out of the
Oh,
archives?
my
What
God.
Wow.
What era of your life was this?
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy.
That
through
doesn't
and
look like
through.
Shocking.
By the way, you know Yankee Doodle
Shame
Dandy?
the devil.
You know the origins of that song? It's making fun of Americans. That's what Yankee Doodle
right?
Dandy is. It's like, oh, look at the Yankee
Oh,
Doodle
you don't know that?
Dandy. Yeah. You would like that song.
Shocking.
My feelings are getting hurt.
There are no cool names, Ass. Like, think about
Untrue.
all the new teams that have arrived. The Utah Mammoth.
Terrible.
It's a dumb name, man. It's a dumb name.
I don't think that's a dumb name.
That's a dumb name.
Ugh, it's
The
terrible.
mammoth?
Mammoth?
One mammoth?
One mammoth?
It's a big ass
Well,
elephant.
I think that's. I don't think there's a plural. I don't think mammoths
Mammoths
is a real.
for sure. It cannot be mammoth.
No, but I don't think mammoths is the correct.
100%.
It's not a cool name.
Okay, all
It's
right.
not a cool name.
Well, I think there could be some stuff that we could consider cool.
Give me a cool
but they're not
name.
appropriate anymore.
Oh, okay.
In the vein of like the Washington Bullets is not something that you could use anymore. You know, stuff like that.
You're just
Why,
further
that's my
proving
favorite.
my point.
That's my favorite one ever, though. That we decided 25 or so years ago, like, you know what? We have to do our part to diminish gunplay. And there are a lot of kids that are easily influenced. Like, I wasn't interested in shooting, anybody or anything. But then my favorite basketball team was called Bullets.
Well, gun violence has gone down since then.
Piqued my interest.
Especially in that locker room.
I saw Calbert Cheney one time, and I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm talking
Am I
about.
gun curious now? Sure I am.
The late Abe Poland was greatly moved because a kid in D.C. got shot over a pair of Chris Webber sneakers, and he felt like the violence in Washington, D.C. had gotten to a place, and he said he didn't want his team to be associated with that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, it didn't
wasn't
sound as
public
good
pressure.
it didn't sound as good as Baltimore Bullets anyway.
There are also bad wizards. Look up Rasputin.
Amen.
Is he a wizard?
To many.
We don't talk enough about how lame that was. To your point, I mean, that they
No
25
cool
years
names.
ago went with wizards. Is
No cool names.
pretty bad.
What about the Commandos? That would be a good name?
Nah, that's ass.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what commando means?
I think so.
This is a very high conversation.
What is the GOAT of terrible team names in sports?
Of terrible names.
So the
Well,
opposite of
I mean,
GOAT,
we
but the
should
GOAT.
get the 10-foot pole out for that one to evaluate that, because the worst one, it's basically a
you.
tie at the bottom. Any team whose name doesn't end in S. Although I do have to throw in the completely lazy move by the Nashville Predators. Let's come up with a fearsome beast that will intimidate our foes when they walk into our building. Like, what should we do? Well, we need a Predators to. You know what? It's 4:59 on Friday. Let's just get out Predators. It is. It's just all. We're taking them all. All the beasts that eat other beasts. That's our name now. It's the worst one going. Heat
the
is
GOAT?
bad.
No,
Thunder is
what?
bad.
Heat's a great
Again on
name.
this commie. What? You gonna let him talk like that?
It doesn't have an S at the end. It creates grammatical conundrums.
Have you been to
the
Miami in the
Heat
heat?
is good, but I'm worried more
But that's
about
the
the
point.
grammar of
But
it.
I don't give a-
The Miami
yeah.
Heat is good, or are there 12
Doesn't
guys on the
matter.
team?
Who cares about
They
that?
are good.
Miami's hot. The Heat.
It's always for an awkward interview.
I speak.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why do I care? Because
Yeah.
I speak.
It's
And
a great honor.
You say Miami Heat. Keep it moving.
It's a great honor and privilege to be a Heat.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
like that's the thing. Like for instance, if I play for the Knicks, I am a. If I play for the Celtics, I am a.
Celtic.
If I play for the Jazz, I am a
You're a jazz.
Jazz player.
a jazz man. That's literally what
Really?
it is.
No
Jazz,
way.
it
I
is
like
absolutely.
that.
Jazz man.
Jazz is the worst for me. That's the GOAT of bad ones for me.
So if someone in Salt Lake City sees a player for the Jazz in the mall, they say, "Oh, look over there. He's a jazz man."
As a jazz man. Yeah.
And if you're on the Blues, you're a note.
You're doing a joke.
No, I'm not. They're the notes.
No, they're not.
They're
The Blue
locally
Notes, yeah.
the notes. Yeah,
Blue
they're the
Notes?
notes. Yeah. That's not made up.
This GOAT conversation is presented by Frank's Red Hot. Make every dish the greatest. Eat the GOAT.
And by the way, I've done a lot of great work, and I hate to pat myself on the back, but my work here has in fact been great in analyzing these things. As a for instance, why would the Los Angeles Clippers, when they've moved to LA, knowing when the day they arrived that the Lakers own this town, by the way, stupid name, Minneapolis Lakers, that is the plague of Los Angeles sports teams.
Alliteration saved them.
Well, LA Dodgers, there are no trolley Dodgers in Los Angeles, nor are there any.
You're dodging traffic in
Right,
LA.
there are no trolleys. I don't know anywhere.
No, they have a
outside of San
trolley. The
Francisco.
one that goes up that steep ass hill.
That's not a trolley. That's an incline, or I forget what you call it, but that's what that is. That's more like a train that only goes up and goes down. But if you're the Clippers, you arrive there. By the way, I've asked a bunch of Clippers this, or I did a number of years ago, if any of them knows or knew what a Clipper is. Tony, do you know?
Of course I do. The Yankee Clipper.
Good
a boat.
hotel.
It's a boat.
It's a boat. It's a fast-moving
It's a
ship. That's
fast-moving
right.
ship.
Well, we know
None of
now.
the
There's a
Clippers-
hotel here, or used to be a hotel here, called the Yankee Clipper, Chris's favorite pastime.
Yep.
Dave, everyone knows now because the Clippers in their most recent rebrand went super nautical on everything. I don't know if you've been into it. They've got all sorts of waves
It's an awful
crashing.
Have I
logo.
been into
Awful.
it?
The dome. The dome. Yeah.
I get it. I've been into it. See, that's another one. Have I been into it? I have been into it. But what I should be going in is not the home of the LA Clippers. Instead, they should have just veered a hard right turn away from LA's second NBA team and instead rebranded as Hollywood whatever. The Hollywood Knights, spelled with a K. Unfortunately, Vegas has since jumped in, but I had advocated for that for many moons. The Hollywood Knights with a K, or rhinos, double entendre. Rhinos, that's a fearsome beast, and it honors the residents of Los Angeles who've had rhinoplasty. And a lot of people there have. That's a good name. But I stick with Hollywood Nights as a grand name, a better one. And by the way, Thunder stinks. Oklahoma City Twisters. That would have been a winner.
That one was suggested, but they felt because the natural disaster thing was a little too sensitive and they went away from that.
Well, I mean, then you got to get on the Hurricanes, both pro
Well, no,
and
but here's
college,
the
we're
right?
good. We're good.
Here's the deal, Dave.
Great name, dog.
Have you seen The Great Pickle of 2026?
My movie theater sells pickles.
How much did it charge?
There's
$2.99.
Good deal.
This could be problematic. They rolled out the official names for hurricanes, named storms. Did you see what one of the names is?
Hurricane Bane?
No. There's a hurricane that's going to be called Cristobal.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
They do it. I've looked into this. The meteorologists have some name that they check through A through Z, and then they go back to A, and they just keep.
They've got to
coming-
alternate male and female names.
Yep.
And then they go by the first letter, A, B, C, D, as et cetera,
Yep.
et cetera.
Well, speaking of this, I've advocated before. It's right there. Why would you, if your home has to get destroyed, it's terrible no matter what. But, Katrina, she did, like Ruth, Hurricane Ruth, man,
There's a lot of names they have to cycle
It's an
through.
extra gut punch. We should be using football players' names. I mean, it wouldn't feel as bad
Hurricane
if
Mahomes.
my house got destroyed by what? Hurricane DeBrickashaw. Like, oh, well, I mean, how would you possibly survive that?
I don't want to see that hurricane.
How about after Butkus? Like, what happened? Hurricane Dick. Say no more. Hurricane Mean Joe. I never had a chance. Now, right?
To go back to how come you got Hurricanes as a team name? Current names or current teams are grandfathered in. I'm saying as a new brand, you can't come out with a new brand like that. But if you did it back in 1900 whatever or 1890 whatever, then it's all right. It's fine because back then there were different sensibilities. There's only one name left. You know what? I've decided since I said copyright a bunch of times, I'll say it on there.
Yeah, I want to know it.
Mako Sharks. Mako Sharks.
You needed to copyright that, you felt?
The Miami Mako Sharks.
Ooh.
Miami Makos.
Okay, if you just go Makos, that's all right.
Mako, what's it like Knickerbocker? It's the long name, but then we just shorten it to Makos.
Okay, I like that. You won me over.
What do the Heat players call themselves? On the internet,
Heaters?
I've seen Heetians
No,
out there.
Heetian is a stupid name.
Hotties.
But what do they call themselves?
Heedle.
I'm a Heat.
That's bad.
That's bad.
No,
it's
it's
also
not
bad.
great.
You know what? The one that has been around for more than 100 years is White Sox and Red Sox. I'm a Red Sox player.
I'm a Magic is worse.
I'm a magician.
Magician.
Why do they get to spell it with an X?
Jeremy Taché sent me this. It's a tweet from a guy named Jay Kudo who
What'd he
said,
say?
most teams named after a sock by Professional Sports League. MLB is in the league with 2. They've got 2 teams. All other leagues combined, 0. Why were we naming teams after socks back in the day?
Socks
Well,
are big in baseball.
There are a couple that are good. My least favorite going, legitimately, not just because it doesn't end in an S, is Wild. Minnesota Wild, as in the outsides. That's what it's a reference. The Wild is in the great outdoors.
Yeah.
The great outdoors would have been better than Wild. The Minnesota Outsides is a terrible name. Also, Nets is an underrated, awful one. Like, let's name it after something to do with the sport. Like, the balls? No.
The rim?
The hardwoods? Nope, we're
Cleveland
not working blue.
Rims.
Yeah.
The Metropolitans.
There's actually 3 in baseball. I understand why people think there's like a racist origin to it, but they were named the Cincinnati Red Stockings at first.
Remember that show?
Silk Stockings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right after Raw, right?
Yeah.
Every Monday night on USA.
Dave,
I liked when they named people after, or they named the team after their best player. The Cleveland Spiders were called that, or changed their name
don't
from
like that
Spiders to Indians because their best player was a Native American. That's true.
I got your best one right here.
The
Is
Los
it the-
Angeles
The
LeBrons.
old name
You
of the
want me?
Brooklyn Dodgers, do you know what it was? The name of the Brooklyn Dodgers before they were the Dodgers?
The Trolley Dodgers.
The Bridegrooms.
Now put that in a 4-foot band as I'm trying to cross the street last night, looking at certain puddles going, this could be it. this could be where I go. Because the water was moving very fast. I forgot my floaties. I can't swim. I have a very large head that sinks. I have a very fat butt that floats. That's not good for swimming. I'm very nervous. Florida is not a good climate for me.
He instantly goes upside down.
I do. I turn into a fly girl in a club, just face down, ass up. Like, that's me. Instantly in a puddle. Here lies Brad, killed by puddle. That could happen.
Brad Williams makes me laugh all the time, but rarely as much as when he's greeting Mike Golick and they are doing that shoulder handshake, and Mike Golick has to get down and Brad Williams has to climb up. Why didn't you just go in for a straight handshake to say hello?
Because then I nut tap him. Because if I go straight handshake, there's the possibility. And by the way, how much, Gojo, were you just holding back? You're like, if I go full shoulder into this guy, he may evaporate into Skittles.
I was more thinking on if I went to pull in, because we went the dap with the hug.
Yeah.
And so there's that pull in the middle, and I was like, are we going to airlift Brad right now? Is this going to end up being like a swinging situation?
Did you go football mentality, low man wins, I'm not going to let this guy beat me.
That is true. I thought about just getting all the way down.
You got down pretty low. I thought you were going to throw out your back.
I was Jason Kelsey tush push stat. I was trying to get down on all fours there. It was good.
And now I'm realizing that I missed my calling as an O lineman.
God, could you
Low
imagine?
man wins.
Brad Williams led tush push, unstoppable.
Well, not only was it funny because visually that was funny, you were also interrupting a story of Brad Williams kicking a one-legged man out of his last show. That's the story that you interrupted.
I did. I did. There is no love lost between people who share parking in the handicapped space. He was gone. Get out of my show, sir.
Now, did you know he was one-legged before you kicked him out?
I did not. I did not.
So when he gets up.
I was in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and where all the one-legged people hang out. And the guy was talking way too much. And it's the worst kind of heckler to me. I will gladly take a heckler that yells out "F you" more than a guy that loves me but is just talking too loud and commenting on every joke and be like, "That's so true when you did that." Like, God damn it.
That's a great joke, Brad Williams.
Yeah,
that's great. You're killing it, Brad.
That's what I'm doing. It's like he's encouraging me, but it's like your mom clapping too loud in the stands. Like, "Mom, shut up! I can do this." And so I talked to him. He's like, "Hey, I paid good money to get in here," and I like, "Dude, you gotta shut up." And I finally had to kick him out. So he stands up and he does the walk. And when he walks, the pant leg goes up and I see the shiny metal underneath. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, no. And I kind of, and then because I can't filter thoughts, I go, you have one leg, sir?
Oh, so you just decided to play with the cards out.
Let's go. And then he turns and goes, yep. And I was like, am I kicking out a soldier? Did you serve? And he goes, "Nah, car accident." And I'm like, okay, get out. Like, if it's a soldier, then yeah. But I actually kept talking to him, and then because I felt bad, I invited him back. And he sat down, and we proceeded with the show. But then it just kept going. He got his second chance to the point where now I see the faces of the people around him being uncomfortable, and I'm like, all right, well now you. So I kicked him out again.
No,
I kicked him out again, and he gave me the whole like, well, do you know how much I paid for these tickets? And I go, an arm and a leg. Oh.
It's time for Vegas legend Kiriton.
The man is a legend, and he's a legend in Vegas, where it's hard to be a legend. I've seen him. His face is ID to get into all
the big media news yesterday in the NFL world. I like media news. I like that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's a little bit niche.
Yeah.
I like it. And yesterday I saw, and this comes on the heels of the whole Belichick Hall of Fame fiasco, Tony Dungy out at Football Night of America. How about that?
I read that, and Tony Dungy seems like a nice man. I've never understood his role? What makes him a compelling
It's odd.
broadcaster? Though?
He seems really nice and also like really polarizing.
Yes.
Well, he's been doing it for a really long time. Where you're kind of looking around like, how long has Tony Dungy been on TV?
And does he add anything?
I don't really remember anything that he said. In fact, like his moment on TV was kind of getting yelled at by Rodney Harrison. I'm like, all right, that's good. If his role is to be yelled at, I think I'm in on this. But usually these studio shows, they cycle through these talents. And he'd been doing it for close to like 15 years. At a certain point, like what makes you keep that job?
So, Dave, what Mike is referencing there, you remember this, though? Like the last time we saw Tony Dungy on television, this was ahead of the Super Bowl, and Rodney Harrison dressed him down over the Belichick situation.
Any list that doesn't include Bill Belichick at the top is absolutely wrong. And a lot of those players that we mentioned, they're great players. I played with Drew Brees. I played with Adam Vinatieri. But there's nobody more deserving to be in that Hall of Fame than Coach Belichick. I've seen his greatness. I've seen him design defenses to stop your offense. And you just look at the players that he's impacted. He's been unbelievable. And when I look out throughout the Hall of Fame, and even a guy like Tom Brady wouldn't be Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. And that's the disappointing part of it, Coach, and you guys got it wrong.
I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say Rodney Harrison, I believe, is legitimately dressing down Tony Dungy there. Because if you were just talking about Belichick and the whole situation with Belichick not having made the Hall of Fame, I feel like he would have turned to the camera a couple times where he's talking to America. He's talking to the audience here. I feel like he is straight up telling him, you're wrong, player.
Yeah, well, he said two things. One is shut down your offense, right? That's a direct one, not a generic, he shut down great offense, he shut down your offense. And two is you guys got it wrong. Yeah. And so I don't know.
And Dungy refuses to admit which way he voted. He still has not admitted.
I don't like this part of it. The idea that if you didn't do it, that you should just say, I didn't do it, it wasn't me. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that he voted against Belichick.
Right, but you know what it implies, though.
You got it wrong implies you and whoever it is that you voted
No, but Dungy not admitting it. I understand what you're saying. Where Dungy, look, he's trying to do the admirable thing. Where no. Even if I voted that way, I still wouldn't tell you because I believe in not sharing the vote. But in this situation, we all know not sharing which way you vote means, Tony, all of us now believe you didn't vote for Belichick.
He could have corrected that. What is curious to me, first of all, did Rodney Harrison likely, the producer says to him, the pregame producer says, hey guys, we're going to talk about the Belichick thing. And obviously Coach Dungy, you are are a part of the committee, and Rodney, you're raw about this. So this should be a pretty good conversation. They're coached up for the conversation. Did Rodney Harrison say to the producer otherwise, I'm going to go at Dungy here? Is that okay with everybody? I bet you he did. Bet you he didn't didn't go in on his own like that. Big shocker, everybody. I'm going after my colleague. I bet you got sign off. And if that's true, did they say to him, like, go ahead, feel free, man. Go ahead, go at him. And knowing like, we feel like he's run his course for us anyway.
Dave, I got to say, as someone who did a live studio show for years at ESPN, yes, you are prepped on the conversation. Sometimes they'll tell you who so-and-so is going to take the other stance or whatever. But it's live TV, man. He could absolutely audible that.
That's called going into business for yourself.
Right? Like, is that what it's called? Yeah, he could absolutely audible that and say, I'm going to go more point. I can be hot on it, but I'm going to be pointed. Because hot on it is just everything he said, minus your offense and minus you got it wrong.
Mm-hmm. I agree, but I also think having done those pre-production meetings and everything else, they do sort of get a hint of where you're going to take things. And I would not be surprised if Rodney Harrison said, given the gravity of like, I'm going to go at this guy who's a Hall of Fame voter, and I want to get into the Hall of Fame myself, and I feel like I've been left on the outside as well, but I'm here to talk about Belichick. I could see them saying like, yeah, go ahead, dude, do that. Yeah, go after him there.
Because the other part of this is the people in the production meeting, those producers, they have no idea about contract negotiations. They have no idea, like, Dungy's not coming back. That's not something that they know. I know this because The first time they tried to get my ass up out of ESPN, they gave me a deal that basically was like, you can be on TV 10 times a whole year. And I'd blown through that in the first 2 months because the producers who produced the shows that I did were not privy to that contractual conversation.
But as though that's a universal rule. I mean, some producers know what's going on. They know, like, this guy is running out the string here. He's not going to be back with us next season. There's some producers involved that would know that.
Yeah.
How quickly do they call Tomlin for that job?
I think Tomlin's not doing anything. And I think the biggest indicator is that he didn't even have like this goodbye from Pittsburgh, no goodbye to the press and his chums. I think Mike Tomlin wants nothing to do with football for a little bit.
I'm inclined to agree with you. Who's your choice, Mike?
That's available right now? That's a good question. Now, I know that like these broadcasters have been really hot on the idea of getting Mike Tomlin. Like they've reached out to him in previous years where his name wasn't in the mix, but I believe that Mike Tomlin, for at least for the moment, wants to stay away from it.
If he decides to retire, Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I would really make a run, and I know he's coaching and he's really enjoying that. I would love Phillip Rivers on these broadcasts.
Oh, yeah. That's a great call.
Yeah, and remember when Jay Cutler first retired, there was talks of him being in a Fox booth, and then he just never did that.
No, he wasn't in the booth at some point.
Did he do a
I feel like he did a couple games.
He did,
bad?
Yeah.
He did, but they said you can't smoke in here, and he was like, well,
Yeah,
I'm out.
maybe not in the booth is where I would just like to see his kind of energy, his toxic energy around the game a little bit more.
Can I step in here on behalf of everyone who wasn't a former player who did a studio show? Can you not replace the coach with another player? Can we get another coach in there? Because I see this a lot where people are like, more players. And like
I went off the board because everyone's just going to naturally pick a head coach to replace him. I'm good. The coaches don't usually give me much.
They give you some.
There's a guy who's really good. He's probably going to be playing maybe for Davey Steelers coming up. But Kirk Cousins on TV has been excellent.
Yeah, he's been
like
awesome.
He breaks it down in a way that is super digestible. It's easy to understand what he's talking about from a quarterback's perspective. Like I think Kirk can do really well on TV.
If the goal is heat, attention, and that is the game, as I've been told by Amin that's what you want, then I don't think you could do any better than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
he would never do it.
Would he want to do it?
He would never do it.
I'm floating out there.
Yeah, and he'd be a huge hypocrite, by the way.
I think
massive hypocrite if he does it.
I think he would. I think he likes talking.
We've never seen that before. A massive hypocrite.
The hypocrites that turn around and end up being some of our most charming analysts that we watch on TV. John Madden. People cannot fathom the idea that until he left the Raiders, most of football America hated him. He was a curmudgeon. He was not a delightful, heavy-set fellow who just loves talking about our favorite pastime.
Has that movie come out yet?
No, there's still
no.
Someone quit, right? Because
David
O. Russell.
There was a slur that was
David O. Russell might have uttered a slur
casually on set, and there were stories.
Why did he do that?
He's there's some stuff to him.
What do you say?
David O. Russell is known to be a provocateur.
Didn't he do Silver Linings? Isn't that him too?
Yeah, so he's been known to do provocative things to get the most out of his actors, and like cross lines at times. And so it's not clear whether this was, again, part of this master plan of him to like, let me get something out of these guys, or if it was just like Mike said, just casually dropped there. But he said something, and one of the main actors, not Nicolas Cage and not Christian Bale, but someone else, quit. Said, I'm not working on.
There's this class of director in Hollywood, and David O. Russell seems like an old school, like a William Friedkin type of director.
Friedkin, absolutely.
Yeah, there was a great documentary on what a jerk he was on the set, and Michael Mann has also driven people kind of batty on the set.
I got a great Friedkin story on not basketball. On Cinephobe. Cinephobe is the podcast I do with Zach Harper. We watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether they're accurately rated or maybe they didn't get a fair shake. Cinephobe, you get it wherever you get podcasts. And it's produced by Anthony Mays. This week, by the way, we've got the movie Senseless, the 1997 movie Senseless with David Spade and Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans.
Yes. But on Cinephobe.
Get out of here with that movie.
That movie wasn't that bad from what I remember.
Well, you may want to
It was of the time.
You may want to rewatch it.
Yeah, it was bad.
Absolutely of the time.
What was it about? I didn't catch that one.
Senseless was... I like that he takes an experimental drug and his senses are heightened, but he can't control them because he's Marlon Wayans.
Gotcha, okay.
So he's falling around. But on Cinephobe,
it's a riot.
We did Blue Chips. The great William Friedkin movie with Nick Nolte.
What a
and
movie.
Shaquille O'Neal and
Great.
Anthony Hardaway.
Foul.
Right? It is absolutely an amazing
You know about
movie.
Butch McRae?
All about that Butch McRae.
You know about Leon Badeau?
Dion Bateau.
Nope.
Neon Bateau.
Leon Badeau.
That's not Leon.
Bobby Hurley
Neon
wearing
Badeau.
Indiana
Neon.
Hoosiers,
It's
red,
neon.
white,
We were both
cream
wrong.
and crimson. Shame the devil.
The point is, good friend and the guy who played Tony in Blue Chips, whose name is actually Tony in real life, tells the scene about, you know, how when Nick Nolte discovers that he was point shaving, he rushes up into the
He was
the
so
frat
hurt.
house
The
and he
party.
grabs him and he says, "Is it true? Is it true?" He's like, "Come on, it's just a couple. We won the game anyway." You know, the tear and all that stuff. Apparently, Friedkin right before that scene smacked him, like not like a whap.
Who did Nolte?
No, he smacked Tony. And Tony's thing was like, you know, you could have just told me, I want you to really emote. You didn't have to do that. But it's a great scene that comes out. But it goes back to what Mike is talking about. By the way, go back and listen to Cinephobe episode on Blue Chips. If you go into Spotify and just search Blue Chips under
What a
Cinephobe,
movie.
you'll find it. We have all that conversation with Tony, who's incredible. But yeah, there's a class of director in Hollywood. It's kind of from yesteryear where it's like, hey, my job is to get the performance out of you, and there are no lines. And it's not how I feel for real, and it's not how I would actually act. But in this scenario where the cameras are here and the lights are on, I will do whatever it takes to get that performance out of you. David O. Russell certainly fits that bill.
Yeah, and he's a filmmaker that is known to get these great performances out of actors. Michael Mann's really like one of the lone holdovers along with David O. Russell. There is a new school way to do that. Aronofsky's a director that is often like thought of as a guy that if you work with him, you're going to have a good shot at an Oscar because you're going to deliver the performance of your career. But a lot of those guys land on the wrong side.
I read a similar situation to that what you're talking about from Blue Chips recently with the movie Whiplash, where, you know, the very famous scene, you know, where he is at a different tempo when J.K. Simmons smacks him while he's berating him, that the smacking was not in the script. And he didn't tell Miles Teller that he was going to smack him, but he did it in the scene. And obviously Miles Teller, being a good enough actor, just rolled with it.
Very similar scenario happened in the movie Starsky and Hutch. When Vince Vaughn slapped Snoop Dogg, Snoop said that wasn't in the script. And he smacked the shit out of me, and I got upset. He said part of me was going to kill him, and part of me was like, you're an actor, stay with it. And they finished the scene and said as soon as they finished the scene, Vince Vaughn hugs him and says, please don't kill me.
That's
I just
awesome.
felt it. I just went within the moment, so they had a good laugh. By the way, that Cinephobe episode, 214, Blue Chips.
Amin, it is now time for a segment that is sweeping the nation. It's called, Do You Know About That?
I thought it was who he played for.
This ball with Taba?
Amin, I go over a few big stories in the NBA. Everybody learns a little bit, and we find out if you know about that. You ready for You Know About That?
Gotta earn, gotta learn.
All right, Amin. So, Matt Ishbia, he's the owner of the Phoenix Suns. He came out recently, and he said, that's why I give it. And he said next year, the All-Star Game, which is being hosted by Phoenix, you'll be there. That's where you live.
Uh-huh.
You live there.
I do.
Matt Ishbia, in order to ramp up the competition, is offering $1 million, his own money, to the winner of the three-point, to the winner of the slam dunk, and it will also be matched to charity. You know about that?
I did not know about that. I'm learning it right now. But I'll say a couple of things. Number one, I've gone on the record as saying next year is going to be the greatest All-Star weekend ever. Ever. Hands down. There's not a city in America that can touch us. Maybe New Orleans. But no one else can touch us as far as hosting All-Star weekend.
Why?
It's just a combination of our weather is awesome. Our building is brand new. We have no traffic. Our things are all located centrally. Like all the stuff is downtown or Old Town Scottsdale. And even so, there's 20 minutes car ride apart. Plenty of Ubers. Super easy airport that's in the middle of town. A lot of direct flights. No one is going to touch us. We are the epitome of
Phoenix. Sounds nice, dude.
It is awesome.
Yeah, I've never been.
Everything
Yeah.
is like
Awesome.
25 minutes away, though. That's
25
the one thing, but it's fine.
25 minutes? You live in Miami, bro.
No, I know. It's
Only
fine.
25 minutes to get to the car.
No, but like there's Glendale, Scottsdale, like they're far away.
There's no Glendale. Nobody's going out to Glendale. If you're All-Star Weekend and someone says, let's go to Glendale for this, they're lying to you. They're trying to rob you is what's happening. But to the Matt Ishbia thing, this is what I like about Matt Ishbia. He's a guy that isn't afraid to throw money at problems, right? Whatever it takes. So this idea sounds great. It sounds amazing. It's in line with a lot of stuff he's done to really improve the fan experience in Phoenix, including dropping concession prices. There's there's $1 waters, $1 hot dogs, $1 popcorn at Suns games every game, right? Having said that, an NBA owner offering $1 million of his own cash to the winner of competitions who will be most likely playing for teams that are not his, that's tampering. Unless it's a three-point contest because he's got a guy named Devin Booker who could win, that's cap circumvention.
Interesting.
Can't he just get one of his companies to like be the sponsor?
Yeah, no one will ever be able to trace that.
No one.
Yeah, well, maybe there's one guy in New York.
All right, so it sounds like you know about that.
He's got a podcast that won best podcast of sports podcast of the year.
The haunted episode?
What's up?
The haunted episode?
Not the haunted episode. I think it's just overall. It's overall.
But that's a piece of it.
And by the way, we have a big episode dropping today about NBA gambling. We dug deeper when Pablo Torre finds out, and they're going to do a live watch-along today.
Zaz, that was a very long answer from Amin, and I know.
Well, but he
you're
knows
trying
about
to-
that. That's why.
Yeah, he does know about that. Can I very quickly just ask, because you mentioned NBA gambling and point shaving earlier.
Yes.
I am one of these people. How does point shaving work? How do you successfully shave points and still win the game, but make sure you maintain the margin needed? Doesn't it feel like you should miss a lot of the time with that? Like, gotta land it in between, gotta land right in the middle there. That's hard to do.
Dave, I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm sure there are millions of people listening to this like, yeah, I had the same question. Pablo Torre finds out on YouTube
About
today.
this.
We have video evidence of what it looks like to point shave.
Wow. But how do you make sure we don't, okay, we're going to win, but let's not score too many. Like, we got to come in under 5.5 there. It's got to be tough.
It's not
Must
easy.
lose some games
and it's
doing
got to
that.
look natural. And spoiler alert, this guy did not make it look natural.
Amin, the Los Angeles Lakers, they have hired Tony Bennett. That's right, the great Tony Bennett, former Virginia coach. That is
The singer?
not him at all. That is on the video screen right now.
San Francisco.
Different Tony Bennett. They hired Tony Bennett as a draft advisor. Does J.J. Redick have to be worried? You know about that?
I do know about that because I had a great conversation with Mike Ryan this morning about people who annoy you despite not having done much against you in their lives.
Tony Bennett gets under my skin, and he hasn't done anything outside of having like a terrible style of play.
Right. Well, that's it.
And he quit when NIL came around, and he's just like, this stinks. I'm gonna go. There was a game over the weekend where Miami was at Virginia. It was a really great game, back and forth the entire time.
Tough finish.
Tony Bennett was in on the broadcast for 10 minutes. He got a picture-in-picture. I'm like, get this guy off the screen. And I hate him. And then news came out yesterday that he's helping the Lakers as a draft advisor. I'm like, I'm not happy for him. Stop.
So you know about that?
I do. I don't like him. I don't know why. He didn't do much, but he sets me off.
A national championship.
No, I mean, he didn't do much to bother
Oh.
me. He just said one thing about NIL that, landed the wrong way on the wrong day.
I mean, you know about that, though?
I know about that, and I'm going to tell you guys this. First of all, J.J. Redick couldn't give two shits about the draft. He's worried about his team. It's not like the NFL where the coaches are very involved with, hey, what are we doing in this offseason thing? NBA coaches are very much focused on just coaching the team. Now, every once in a while they'll come in and say, hey, you know who's a hell of a player? I saw that guy on TV last weekend in between me getting lunch or whatever. And front offices most of the time say, yeah, coach, good job. We've seen him go back to work because the scouts have watched these guys for years, and the coach might have caught the second half of a March Madness game, and he thinks he's got an opinion. But to bring in a college coach, this is nothing to see here. Behavior in the NBA. Almost every NBA front office has a former college coach, and it's not for them to tell you, you know who's really good, this guy. It's because of all the dirt. These guys recruited these guys. They scouted against them. They've got other friends, especially if it's a former coach. They got other friends who are actively coaching, and they'll tell you things about the player that you cannot see. It's all about intel. So I would say it's a good hire because Tony Bennett probably knows a lot of current coaches.
All right, everybody settle down. Sounds like you know about that. Amin, the San Antonio Spurs last night. They won at the Toronto Raptors, 110-107. They don't lose anymore. They won 10 in a row, the Spurs. And even when Victor Wembanyama doesn't have a big game, he had 12 points and 8 rebounds last night. Whatever. They still get a real good road win at Toronto. Spurs never lose anymore. I mean, you know about that?
I know all about that. The Spurs are on fire, and Oklahoma City better watch its back. Everyone's talking about Detroit. Oh, you might not have home court advantage in the finals to Oklahoma City. Guess what? They might not have a home court advantage in the conference finals, and it's even more steeped up when you think about, okay, so what? We'll just go on the road. Yeah, go on the road against a team that whooped your ass 4 out of 5 times this year. Shout out to the NBA Cup for giving us a 5th matchup between the Spurs and the Thunder.
Not only that, when you look at a young team like that, it's so much better to play at home in those big-time scenarios than going to probably the best atmosphere. I'd say the best atmosphere in the NBA in Oklahoma City.
It's crazy.
Fully loaded. It's insane. To have those Game 6, Game 7s at your place with a young core like they do is a super big deal.
Having said that, if Oklahoma City's healthy, I'm taking OKC over San Antonio.
Really?
All right, sounds like you know about that, Amin. Amin, tonight, you have what we could call a tank-off. The New Orleans Pelicans are facing the Utah Jazz. But did you see DeJounte Murray? DeJounte Murray, he has been accused of requesting a trade before the deadline, and he fired back on Twitter about that, all right? DeJounte Murray tweeted yesterday, "Let's clear the air because F a source. Me or my agent never requested a trade out of New Orleans. The whole organization know I was locked in to come back better than ever to help make this play-in push and whatever comes after that."
What?
I mean, you know about that 17-42 play-in push?
All right, you know sometimes when you say, like, hey, it's best to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt? That's kind of where DeJounte Murray's like, you shouldn't have said anything. Shouldn't have said anything. But shout out to Miriam Fader of The Athletic. She wrote a very nice feature on DeJounte Murray the other day that came out on The Athletic / the New York Times. Go read it. It's not a tank-off. Tank-off? Tank-off. It's not a tank-off. I'm going to tell you why. New Orleans does not control its pick. It goes to Atlanta.
Okay.
Because of the Derek Queen deal. So, believe it or not, when you look at the New Orleans Pelicans and you see 17-42, it's like, these tankers. Nope. They're actually god-awful. Honest to God. They have every incentive to try to win, and they just can't do it. Not a tank-off. Now, the Utah Jazz, on the other hand. Laurie Markkinen, you see this?
Yep.
Laurie
Tell
Markkinen
that story.
got hurt at practice and needs an MRI, and oh my God, I think Laurie might be shut down for the year. This goes back to my whole thing about tanking. You can't stop it. But what we can stop is the egregious tanking. The egregious tanking of like, hey, we're up, sit them. That's wild. But like the, ooh, my back, it's done. You can't stop it. We had this a long time ago in the NBA. They had this thing called the injured list. You only had a certain amount of active players, 12 active players.
Yeah.
And you had 3 slots on the injured list, but you had to be injured in order to be on the injured list.
And didn't you have to miss 3 games?
And 5 games. You'd miss 5 games if you were on the injured list. So what teams were doing where they would say, Chris Cody has tendonitis. And it's like there's no scan for that. There's no imaging for that. You just have to take their word for it. And so they were carrying 15 healthy players under the auspices of like, but he's hurt. We can always create the lie for why a guy can't play. You can never legislate against that. You just got to live with it and legislate out the egregious tanking.
It's amazing, though, Dave, because, like, the players who are hurt on the bad teams, the teams that are taking, everyone's getting surgery. It's like somebody's opening the door to the locker room of these bad teams. Yo, free surgery. Who wants surgery? Everybody's getting surgery.
Me, my ankle hurts. I'm in, coach.
Also, though, the other side of it is it feels Big Brother. It's like sending in the feds to investigate this. And Adam Silver, ultimately, as they always say, works for the owners. So what's the Jazz owners' reaction to getting leaned on by the league? They want to tank, and that ownership group is not going to be happy with Adam Silver, right?
Yeah, his reaction is going to be, I'm a jazz man.
Finally, got one more for you here. I mean, it sounds like you know about that. One more for you here. The Los Angeles Lakers the other night, well documented. Luka, LeBron, they hate playing with each other. They lost the Orlando Magic, all right? But Apparently at halftime of that game, going into the halftime locker room, DeAndre Ayton, he stinks by the way, DeAndre Ayton was heard yelling, "They trying to make me Clint Capella." You know about that?
I did know about that, but what I would say to DeAndre Ayton is, you wish you were Clint Capella. You wish. And you know who else wishes you were Clint Capella?
The Lakers.
The Lakers. Luka, JJ Redick, LeBron. But this is, again, Tony, we saw this coming the day they signed him.
A mile away.
This is who he is. This is
stinks.
a guy who got snowed into his own house and just said, I'm not showing up to the game, right? This is the guy that slept on a floor because his mattress wasn't delivered. And he's like, guess what? Right? This is a guy who's notoriously unreliable and has a deluded sense of self. And so, yeah, this is what you get, Lakers. And one more time, because the tweet is out, Pablo Torre is walking around the streets of New York, and it says, new investigation tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, live watch-along of the latest episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out. We're getting deep on the point shaving and the gambling, and this one is a global conspiracy. It starts here in the NBA, it goes to college basketball, it goes internationally. You don't want to miss it.
It's the globalist.
I cannot believe that quote from Ayton. I mean,
I can.
To think it an insult to be compared to a player that I think of more favorably than DeAndre Ayton.
Everybody does.
As if it were some sort of insult.
Think about like the weird delusional bubble you have to be in, where it's like they're trying to make me. Let me think. Who is the most disrespectful name I can?
Like,
think
you didn't
of?
say they're trying to make me Reggie Evans.
Reggie Evans again,
I
more
would take-
impactful player.
Champion, by the way.
Yeah.
Champion Reggie Evans.
Big three.
But that would have made more sense
305.
than saying they're trying to make me Clint Capella.
Like I'm trying to think, what would be the name that would be appropriate? It would be like, they're trying to make me Amin Al-Hassan. Like, that would be an appropriate name.
Can you imagine if you said that?
Man, I would be so happy. You wish they tried to make you Amin Al-Hassan.
I still can't believe that time in Portland where he was iced in. As if that were like a reasonable, like you could have just done it like a penguin and slid on your stomach.
Well, when
and
you're
gotten out of that
describing,
stretch.
Amin, that story right there and the mattress story, it sounds like when DeAndre Ayton, in any walk of life, of his life, if he's presented with some kind of roadblock or a problem, he doesn't have solutions.
Look, he's an immature guy. He's been an immature guy since the day he set foot in the league. And again, like living in Phoenix, I saw and heard all of these things firsthand. It's like, look, how do you win with a guy like that? Now, a lot of people are like, I mean, they went to the finals. Yes, they did. They also had Chris Paul and Mikal Bridges and Devin. They had an incredible team, and all he had to do was basically just set screens, rebound, and catch these lobs. And must I remind you, he tried to do one of those in the finals, and Giannis sent that shit back to Milwaukee or wherever. But the point is, it's like we have a saying in the NBA. I don't know if you guys have this in the NFL, Dave. You say, the tiger doesn't change his stripes. He just changes jungles.
You know about that saying, Dave?
Yes.
Thank you. So, meaning, guys are who they are. Yeah, there are some outliers where, oh, man, he really changed from early in his career. But for the most part, guys are who they are, particularly if they've always been rewarded for who they are. So DeAndre Ayton comes in the league. He's the number 1 overall pick, right? Number 1 overall pick. Those first 4 years, we're looking at him and like.
And was that the Doncic draft?
Yes, absolutely. Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Jaren Jackson Jr., right? Marvin Bagley. But anyways, he's there. Those 4 years, so he's already rewarded. I come in number 1. Those 4 years, we see all of these signs of someone who's doesn't quite get it, gets to restricted free agency, gets a max offer sheet from the Indiana Pacers. So clearly, you telling me I'm doing stuff wrong? I just got the maximum allowable salary. And guess what the Suns did? They matched. So clearly they agree. So there's at least 2 people who think I'm awesome, right? So then he gets traded to Portland for Yusuf Nurkic, which is crazy when you think. And by the way, Tumani Kamara, who's a really good player for the Blazers, was part of that deal as well. So he gets to Portland, and in Portland he says, my new nickname is Dominating, and they were holding me back, and I had to do all these things. But I'm going to get here, and I'm going to do everything. And he doesn't do anything. He does the same stuff that he did. And what does he get? And now he's a free agent, and it's like, what's his reward? The Lakers, one of the most glamorous teams, want me to come from Portland to Los Angeles to play next to LeBron and to play next to Luka. And I'm sure they told them.
They're trying to win a championship, and they need me.
And we need you. They probably told them that. We need you here. And guess what? Minimum? No. We're going to give you way more than minimum. So, again, in his mind, I'm awesome. I've done nothing. You guys saying I'm doing it wrong. I went from one of the worst teams in the worst markets to the best teams in the best markets.
But this happens all the time in that league, right?
And that's why we say the tiger doesn't change his stripes. He just changes jungles. He's just the same person going from place to place to place.
Is that your worldview for real, though? That nobody can change their stripes?
Not that nobody can change their stripes. Is that the vast majority of people are who they are.
I generally agree with that, but I also then look at guys like the name that always comes to mind with that is the Honey Badger. Tyrann Mathieu was undraftable. He burns tree, don't you know? He's at college and he burns some tree. He'll never change. I mean, he really did become one of the great teammates of the last couple of decades, right?
Of course, like I said, it's not a universal truth. Zach Randolph was radioactive at one point in the day.
Right. And he's like the best guy, it seems.
Radioactive. Burnt his way out of Portland. Burnt his way out of New York. Burnt his way out of the Clippers. It was like, yo, when the Clippers are like, I can't do it, dog, that's pretty much the end of the road. He gets to Memphis, and he like, it's not just dominates, but it's like you're around people that understand you. And also part of it is, and this is why I always say a lot of
this.
It's a
beloved Grizzly.
And beloved guy. Everyone loves Zebo now,
beloved.
Right? But I remember when it was like toxic, don't touch him. But again, it also comes back down to what I like to call basketball mortality. Sometimes you see guys and they're going through stuff and then they realize, oh shit, my career's about to be over? And that sometimes inspires a change. I'm not saying that happened to Zach Randolph, but I see it a lot around the league where guys are like on the cusp of being out of the league, and then they realize, man, I got to get my shit together, and they figure it out. And then, you mature, you grow, whatever. But if you're always rewarded, Dave, then there's no impulse or incentive to change. One quick example. My bad, Tony. One quick example, right? Stephon Marbury, I'll never forget this. He gets traded from the Suns to the Knicks. This is in 2004, right? 2003 or 2004. The very next season. So that year, the Suns had one of the worst records in the league. He gets traded to New York. The very next offseason, the Suns signed Steve Nash. And it's like Steve Nash with the same four dudes that you played with. You played with Leandro Barbosa. You played with Amari Stoudemire. You played with Sean Marion. You guys were awful a year ago, and now they've got the best record in the league. This is midway through that season. He would end up winning MVP. And the New York media, Frank Isolos and those guys, they love to start shit. So they're like, hey, Steph, you always talk about you're the best point guard in the league, but Steve Nash took the same squad you had, and he's got the best record in the league. And meanwhile, like, you guys weren't that good. What do you have to say about that? And Steph Marbury said, last I checked, I got max and he didn't. So clearly he's doing something wrong and I'm doing something right. And that's the impediment to growth. And Stephon Marbury, I think, has changed and grown since then. But again, it just highlights the mindset.
He's like Chinese Michael Jordan now, right?
Absolutely. He is the greatest player in Chinese basketball history. But the idea that if I'm always rewarded for the way I do things, I'm not even going to say behavior, just the way I do things, then why would I ever change?
I want to go back to the Zebo point really quick. We're not making Zebos anymore. We're not making Zach Randolph anymore. The 6'8" guy back to the basket.
I saw a highlight reel on Twitter the other day.
Me too. I saw the same one.
And I'm like, I would love to watch this player today. I love the back to the basket. Let's just pound that
bit of a
rock.
small big. He's kind of a tweener. He should be faster.
I'm going to punish you.
He's got a shoulder with a little lefty fade away.
We saw the same video of Zach Randolph.
It's funny, but also it's like that we saw that Memphis Grizzlies style and that team die right before our eyes, right? Yeah. In the playoffs, right? They were playing against the Warriors. They were up 2-1, and everyone said, oh, that pretty boy three-point shooting thing is going out the way. And then the Warriors did one move, and it was checkmate. It's like Harrison Barnes is going to guard Zebo. Yeah. We're going to put Draymond on Gasol, and we're going to put Andrew Bogut on Tony Allen, who was all-world defense but couldn't shoot. And that one move, checkmate. They never won another game. And it's like their whole thing fell apart. It's a style of basketball that cannot be played anymore because people, if you cannot make the defense be honest with shooting, we're all just going to collapse.
Tony has a funny Con Knipple take.
My Con Knipple take is actually great. But I told you, what was it, a couple of.
If you do say so yourself.
No, I do. The day I said we did bet the castle, and I said Con Knippel deserves Rookie of the Year over Cooper Flagg. That night, Cooper Flagg went out and had 50 points. So again, it was off to a rocky start, but I think my take is solidified. And the take I have versus the take I gave Amin earlier.
How many compliments can you give your take?
Solid, apparently.
That is a solid opinion. So I want to read you some stats. Okay, Con Knippel is one of 3
Now,
players.
are you reading this because you are making a case for Con Knippel to be Rookie of the Year that he won't win?
Yes, because they're going to give it to Cooper Flagg because of the media pressure. But Con Knippel is one of 3 players ever with 1,000 points, 300 rebounds, and 200 assists in his rookie year. Larry Bird, Steph Curry were the only other 2 to do it. 50, 40, 90 games. He's on pace. He's got 17 right now. He is almost on pace to beat
That's
Steph
not
Curry.
a thing.
What do you
50,
mean?
40, 90 games?
Yeah.
You got a 50, 40, 90 season.
He's also on pace for a 50, 40, 90 season. No rookie ever has done that.
Okay.
He's got 200 threes in 58 games, fastest ever. And he's on pace for 284 3-pointers. And that's where the take started shaping with Amin, where I think if Con Knippel can stay healthy and continue to be an elite shooter, he at one day maybe take over Steph Curry's 3-point record.
So watch this. So then we looked up what Steph Curry has for his career,
Which is still going up, by the way, because he's still playing.
Because he's still playing at a high level. It's 4. He's like 1,000 more threes than the next closest.
He's at
guy.
42-33 is exactly what
So then we said, Tony
We
put
did
in
the math.
ChatGPT and said, like, yo, how much would Con Knippel have to average in order to overtake
That's
Steph
a good
Curry?
use of ChatGPT.
Yes, it is.
Thank
It's
you.
excellent. And ChatGPT came back with Con Knippel would have to have 15 straight years
Of
hitting
284
threes this season. So then I was like, oh, let me see how many times that's happened. It's happened 8 times in the history of the NBA. Someone hit 284 threes. 6 of them are Steph Curry.
He also had a 403 season, which, kind of boosts the average there
Is
a little
Clay
bit.
another one of those?
Actually, it's more than 6 times. It's like 12 times, but 6 times with Steph Curry. The only person who's done it twice, other than Steph, is James Harden, who's done it twice.
Who's number 2 on the list of all-time threes made also. So it's like you have to be in legendary territory, but he's having one of the most incredible rookie seasons that we've ever seen. Like 50, 40, 90 as a rookie,
That's great.
That's
He's
never
having a great
happened
season.
before.
Cooper Flagg's better.
Lions.